Good morning. We are about ready to begin. We have a very, very busy day, a very exciting day, and I am glad to see each and every one of you that has joined us this morning for the 2023 Mayor's Small Business Conference. I hope that you have had an opportunity to visit our Continental Breakfast Station. And while you continue to enjoy, I'm going to adjust the agenda just slightly and ask Reverend Kenneth Baker, Minister Baker from Tremont Temple Baptist Church, to come and give the opening prayer, and then I will ask our mayor, Van Johnson, to provide us our welcome for this morning. Minister Baker.
Good morning. Matthew 7:7 simply says, "Ask and it will be given to you, seek and you shall find, knock and the door will be open." Let us pray. Dear God, we come to you with bowed head and humble hearts, Father. We give you thanks for all the ways you inspire your people, the ways you provide for them and set the path before them. We are grateful for many small business owners who felt your creative call and pursued their dreams. Dear God, now we ask you, Lord, that you continue to bless our mayor, continue to bless our wonderful city as we grow in abundance. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
All right, good morning again. So now that we have properly begun the day, let me introduce myself. My name is Miranda Lumpkin-Lotson, and I'm the Business Opportunity Manager within the Department of Economic Development for the City of Savannah. We are delighted that you have found it not robbery to join us this morning for the 2023 Mayor's Small Business Conference. I would like to introduce to you, many of you know who he is, as he is our elected leader, Mayor Van R. Johnson, the 67th mayor of the city of Savannah.
Thank you and good morning. Y'all got to wake up. Good morning. Come on, good morning. It is so good to be here. As a matter of fact, it's good to be anywhere, right? All right, so we celebrate that. But more importantly, very happy to have you at the 2023 Mayor's Small Business Conference, sponsored by your city of Savannah, and that's where you clap, right? That's where you really clap, all right. And it's a pleasure to do this. This is, we've been doing this since 2008. This is my second one. And it's really important to me because I remember where we were in 2020. Think about that. Remember where we were in this date, the second day of May in 2020. That we were sitting around trying to figure out whether we would ever make it through. We knew that it would get bad, but we didn't know how bad. We found ourselves facing challenges that we had never faced before, in times we never faced before. Worrying whether we would be able to make it, whether our businesses would survive, would we be able to feed our families. Do you remember? I mean, has it gotten that far from you that we wondered if tomorrow would ever come? And many of us wondered, Pastor, whether the Lord had forsaken us. Yet, 3 years later, we're still here. And many of you are still here. And you should be clapping for yourselves for that. What we found was that you had to be able to shift. You had to be able to be nimble. You had to find ways to adjust your business model. You had to find ways to operate in strange environments. Nobody knew what freaking Zoom was. But we found out how to make it work, right? And then when it was time to get off of it, we liked it so much, we still try to do it. Someone called, I want to meet with you. No, I'm not meeting with you with Zoom. Come on in. We could do that now. But yet, through this, opportunities spout up for new businesses and new growth. And we find ourselves now on May the 2nd, 2023, stronger, wiser, and better than we were before. The city of Savannah's secret sauce, if you would call it that, is our small business community. Be very clear. We have some fabulous big employers, but we know that what kept our community going, what kept our economy running, was our small businesses. And we knew that if we could just keep the engines warm long enough to outlast that which was in front of us, that we will find a way to get out of this. And so now, here we are in 2023. Our economy in Savannah is better and stronger than it has ever been. In 2022 was our best year in our city across all of our spectrums ever. Turn to your neighbor and say, ever. And that was because of you. We used this opportunity through the city of Savannah and through our economic development department to train, and they offered classes, and hopefully, how many of you took advantage of those classes? All right. Some more of you needed to, but we offered them to help you be prepared for what was next. We made sure that we focused on inclusion and creating seats at the table for folks who had never been at the table before. And so we renewed strategic partnerships with our Black Chamber of Commerce and our Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, our small business organizations, to make sure that we were hitting the mark. And our city's economic development department, led by Manny Dominguez, Miranda Lotson, and their teams, worked very diligently to make sure we were giving you what you needed when you needed it. And so it was important for us that regardless of where you entered this economy, what your entry point was, wherever your venture was, how you wanted to do it, we wanted to make sure we were ready to help you to be able to reach your goals. Because we recognize that our success is tied to your success. And your success is tied to our success. I just came back from Ghana last week, creating hopefully opportunities that we'll be able to introduce as we continue to talk about ways of connecting you to the diaspora of the international world. Some folks around the world want to do business in Savannah, and they want to partner with small businesses. And many of you have the ability or the capability, or will have the capability, to do business around the world. And it's our responsibility to be able to help you do that. We have not gotten here alone. We got here by partnerships. We recognize that our network is our net worth. And so I want to thank ACE Women's Business Centers of Georgia, the Small Business Assistants. Yeah, you can clap for them. The Small Business Assistants Corporation, WorkSource Coastal Georgia, Georgia MBDA Innovation Centers, the University of Georgia's SBDC, our Savannah Area Chamber of Commerce, and our partners at the City of Savannah's Purchasing Department. And, of course, the bills got to be paid. Amen, somebody. And so we thank the folks that helped us to be able to put this on, Workforce Coastal Georgia. Y'all clap really loud for them. The Savannah Economic Development Authority, CEDA. Again, the Georgia MBDA Innovation Centers at Georgia Tech, the Savannah Area Chamber of Commerce, Georgia Power, and of course our friends at Stagefront. So we thank them, and of course our friends at the Greater Savannah Black Chamber of Commerce and at the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Give them a round of applause as well. So today is a resource. Today is an opportunity. The network is around you, but the network is also within you. There are folks in here that need to do business with you. Don't sit at the table and act like, you don't know anybody. Everything we need could be right in here, right? That's Verna, that's you, Verna? See, Verna is my accountant. She ain't do me really well this year. But she's an excellent CPA. You see what I'm saying? Now, like I said, I'm kind of mad I'm not talking to her right now. But she did the best she could. She got to do better next year. But there are people in here. We have to trust each other. We can do business within before we do business without. So let's find ways today to connect, flip business cards, and for those of you who are really sophisticated, they got the digital ones because you throw those cards away when you get home anyway. So go ahead, get those digital cards, and let's find ways to connect beyond today. Again, we're so glad to have you here. We're so glad that your time is very valuable, but yet you chose to spend it with us. We commit to continue to be there with you, to work with you. If there are ways that we can help address a need that you need or things that you need to learn about, we're willing. And our economic development team, y'all stand up. Let's give them a big round of applause. Yeah, so talk to them. Talk to them. Because we want to make sure that we are providing the needs of our customers. So we want to give you the information. We don't have any money for you. But we can tell you where to go get the money, all right? Again, thank you all so much. We hope that you have an outstanding day and big announcements coming up a little bit later today. God bless. Savannah Strong.
All right. Next up is my esteemed Senior Director of the Department of Economic Development, Manny Dominguez, who will give you a conference overview. And then I'll be back to introduce to you our first presenter of the morning.
You heard she said esteemed, right? Thank you, Miranda. Thank you, Mayor. So my name is Manny Dominguez. I'm the city's Economic Development Director. Again, this year, it's such a pleasure to be with you all. This is, the folks here in my team, I'm sure will agree, this event and this interaction with business owners like you is what makes our jobs fun, and it's why we get up every day and eat, sleep, and breathe this work. It's because of the entrepreneurial energy in Savannah. And as the mayor said, it really is small businesses that make this city a special place. I am a transplant to this city. Yep. I am a transplant to the city, and I'll tell you, from someone who came here 8 years ago, not knowing a single soul, it really is the folks in this room that make this city special, and that will make myself, my wife, and my kids stay here for a long, long time. So thank you. So Miranda gave me 2 pieces of instruction. She even wrote them down for me so I wouldn't forget. I've already messed one of them up, fair warning. She said, don't make any jokes, and get off the stage as quickly as possible. So, sorry, Miranda. I'll do my best. So I do want to echo the mayor's thanks to our sponsors. This event would not be possible without you all. I'll run through that list again, but it's in your documentation. Please support these great organizations. They really do a fantastic job here in Savannah, and this event, like I said, would not be possible without their support. Our business partner sponsors, Workforce Coastal, CETA, and Georgia Tech Enterprise Innovation Institute. Thank you all so much for your support. Our contributing partners, the Savannah Area Chamber of Commerce and Georgia Power. And then finally, our in-kind partner, Stagefront, who made possible this beautiful audiovisual that you see today. They have done, as long as I've been here, they've been supporting us with this event. So thank you all so much for that. I'll quickly run through the agenda. You all should have in front of you, hopefully, a folder. I'll ask you to take that out briefly because there's a couple of things we want to make sure you identify in there. One is this incredible set of resources and speakers that Miranda and her team have put together. I certainly want to thank them. Let's give them a round of applause. We have an incredible presentation from the Small Business Administration coming up to talk a little bit about federal and state funding and business programs. They've supported this program for years and years, and we always welcome them back. We have Boost Your Brand to Boost Your Business, which is being put together and presented by Marjorie Young from Carriage Trade PR. Thank you, Marjorie, for all your support. Before that, sorry, I skipped a really important announcement. I'm not going to get ahead of it, but the mayor and Alicia Johnson from Step Up Savannah have a really exciting new program and new initiative that they'll be announcing. We'll have a brief resource break. This is really, I want to encourage you all, please visit our resource partners during this time, network with each other. The mayor named some of them before. Please visit them. They're incredible resources community. We're super lucky to have them here in Savannah. Then our business roundtable, which I'm really excited about. This year, we're super lucky to have a group of incredible women entrepreneurs here in Savannah for a celebration of women in business. A brief video presentation, which I got a sneak peek of earlier this week with some of our spotlight business owners. And then our keynote speaker, who's sitting here at this table, Miss Kathy Porter. She's going to be doing what promises to be a really fascinating presentation for us. And then finally, some networking, and I do want to point out, so first of all, the mayor mentioned, this is an opportunity not just to hear from the folks on the stage, but also to meet with each other and do business with each other. That's why we do this event every year, is really for that opportunity. And then, brand new this year, the purchasing department is somewhere in the building, prepping really hard for the inaugural Reverse Trade Show. This will be an opportunity for you all who want to do business with the city to meet directly with folks like myself and other city departments to pitch your products, your services. It is a great opportunity to do business with the city, but you have to make those connections, right? You have to be able to speak directly to businesses, to the buyers at each of the departments and really do business with them. So please, I encourage you all, attend that if you can. That's at 1:30 this afternoon on the second floor. Miranda, did I miss anything?
Didn't miss a thing.
All right, great. Thank you all so much for coming. Appreciate it.
All right. So without further ado, we have a lineup of very exciting presenters and business owners to share with you information that has helped them along the way. So without further ado, let's get this agenda started. Now, our first presenter is coming to us from the United States Small Business Administration. From SBA. And so we are so happy to have with us this morning Ms. Rosemary Drake, who is the Georgia Deputy District Director for the SBA. Acronyms this morning. So I would like to also mention that Ms. Drake, who serves as the state of Georgia's Deputy District Director for our state, where she is responsible for managing her team's efforts to carry out the SBA's mission of outreach, training, business development, and program compliance. Ms. Drake also has served as the 7A Program Division Chief in the Office of Capital Access from October 2019 until January 2022, most recently. Her role as chief included developing and recommending the agency-wide policies and procedures which govern SBA's 7A loan program. Rosemary has over 25 years of experience in commercial lending, complex credit and financial analysis, as well as entrepreneurship and serving on advisory boards of nonprofit entities focused on lending to underserved markets. I would like to introduce to you Ms. Rosemary Drake. Please give her a warm welcome.
I'm going to work all this technology today. I got my phone up here. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mayor Johnson, Miranda, and Team Savannah. You all have been amazing in inviting me here today. Terry Dennison is our director. You probably remember her for the years that she's been here in the past. She is actually in Albany today with our team for the Path to Prosperity conference that we're hosting there. And so we wanted to split up our team, so someone would be here today to greet you all. I'm going to try and work this clicker and make sure that I can get through this presentation without fumbling all over the place. So it's great to be back in Savannah. Miranda saw me last night walking all over the city. I walked about 6 miles. I really was just going to the river to get something to eat. And then it's so much going on here in Savannah, I wound up walking 3.5 miles extra just so I can see what was going on in the city. So it's amazing things going on in the city of Savannah. Before I start, I want to take a poll of how many people here have actually heard of SBA. Okay, that's great. Probably about prior to COVID, not many hands would have been raised because now we have been known for PPP, COVID idle, and all things pandemic related. And last year when Terry came to speak, she spoke in reference to coming out of the pandemic. And now we're talking about discovering opportunities and growing your businesses as we move into a new phase of what this business environment currently looks like. So I'm going to reintroduce some of our programs and services that many of you may have already used. And I'm going to also be around later on in case you'd like to speak with me. During the pandemic, I was actually in Washington, D.C. I've been in Atlanta since '96 and then took a job in Washington, D.C. I had no idea a pandemic was coming. I had no idea I would be working on PPP. I had no idea. So what did I get out of the pandemic? That Georgia was my forever home. I'm originally from Philadelphia. It took a pandemic for me to realize that Georgia was my forever home. So I'm here. When I do leave Georgia, it'll be some ashes sprinkled in the ocean somewhere. So I plan to make Georgia my home. And so I keep saying I'm not going to run away from Georgia anymore. Every time an opportunity came, I was like, oh, I think I'll go there. I think I'll go there. So I'm here to stay. So I'll be in Savannah a lot more often. And I see all of our partners here. And so as I try to click through this, SBA, just to give you a couple of things, we are actually celebrating a birthday in July. We will be 70 years old, so we've been around since 1953. And so we're here to help you And all of the years that we've been here, we've really grown and we've expanded. The district offices, we have, again, our headquarters in Washington, D.C. We have 68 district offices. And for as large as Georgia is, we have 159 counties in Georgia. We only have one district office, and that's in Atlanta. So hopefully we'll be able to change that. But with our partners, we're able to reach all the business here in Georgia. And so we have a large network of partners, some where we partially fund, and others where we partner with, we don't necessarily fund. So you see the SBDC here, and we're going to talk more about the SBDC and ACE, our Women's Business Center. They're part, and SBAC, they're part of who we help to fund and also do our lending funds. So our whole mission is to help businesses start, grow, and expand. And many of you have used our network. So this is also a very special week for SBA. It is National Small Business Week. And in National Small Business Week, it really is a chance for us to recognize our businesses nationally. We have national winners of different parts of the country. And Georgia, we'll be honoring our winners on Thursday in Atlanta. And we have Exporter of the Year that's also in Atlanta. How many people here are small businesses? Okay. Everyone here is an existing small business. Anyone been in business for 70 years by chance? 70 years been in business? Okay. I'm looking for 70-year-old businesses to help us celebrate 70 years. So I start with the big number, 70 years. You reach your 70, right? So, okay, so if you know any businesses that have been around for 70 years, any businesses 50 years? Okay, I have a 50-year-old business here. Oh, a couple of them, amazing. So coming through, you've been through a lot being around for 50 years. You've been through a lot of ups and downs. And so the fact that you've been able to stay around even after this pandemic, and you've gone through the Great Recession, so you've been through a lot and you're still here, that's resilience. So thank you. And all those businesses that have been around longer than 10, 15, 20 years, that's an amazing thing. How many businesses are 2 years or less in business? Awesome. We know that during the pandemic, it sprouted up a lot of new businesses. Corporate America shifted and people working from home, and they found a way to say, okay, this is a perfect opportunity for me to launch my small business. So kudos to the new businesses as well. And so with this week, we're going to reach out and we're going to continue to share the focus on how we're going to continue to help the economy grow and be diversified, and to reach out to how we can continue this dream that we have in America of doing National Small Business Week. And so we are very innovative, and we've had to be over the last couple of years of innovation. The state of Georgia itself, 1.2 million businesses in the state of Georgia. We employ, as small business owners, 1.7 million employees. And guess what? 46%, do I have some stats? No, I didn't put my stats up there. 46.1%. Can anybody guess what that accounts for? There you go, women-owned small businesses. And as I look around the room, I see a lot of women here. Kudos to the ladies. Awesome, awesome. And 36.6% are minority-owned businesses. 7.6% are veteran-owned businesses. And we actually have a lot more veteran-owned businesses, but because it's voluntary to put that information down, we don't always capture all of our information about our veterans. Any veterans in the audience? Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. I was a military wife for 26 years, so I stood by my Army spouse. And then, of course, we're in Savannah. Georgia is known for exports. Savannah, I saw all of the business and all the cranes and everything in Savannah, and Savannah has become one of the third largest ports. So Savannah is doing phenomenal business. So we have an opportunity as we get through Small Business Week and beyond that, that small businesses really churn the economy. And so a part of what we do is at SBA is helping you get ready. And in this economy, we have to always stay ready, right? You have to be nimble and you have to adapt. You have to be ready to get access to capital, right? Who doesn't need capital in the room? Because when I say who needs capital, everybody always raise their hand, right? But So we always need capital, but always preparing to get ready for capital. So that's a part of what SBA does through our partners. And then also leveraging certifications, getting access to contracts. So SBA doesn't give contracts away. What we do is we help leverage certifications to help guide you to get access to federal contracts. And then for the state of Georgia, you know, they're separate from federal, but they also have many programs available at the state of Georgia, and we partner with the state of Georgia as well. And so our resource partners, if you look around the room, you'll see our resource partners, and we have our resource partners that will help guide you through the process. And we're going to talk a little bit about access to capital and how to get to that access to capital and accessing contracts. Do we have any 8A firms in the building? Okay, I see an 8A firm. Awesome. Do we have any women-owned small businesses that are certified through SBA? Awesome. I see a couple of those. Wonderful. So veteran-owned small businesses that are certified. Got one in the building also. So it's great to have representation, but guess what? This is discovering opportunities. This is a great time. If you saw those hands go up, take an opportunity to speak to those business owners so that they can tell you their path to how they got to their certifications, and if they've been able to access federal contracting. If you talk to one of our partners, they're going to help you get access to the funding. Most people, what we found during COVID, in our small business, especially our underserved markets, they were not positioned to get the maximum amount of their loan funding because of their financials were not in order. And so it's really important. One of the things I teach because of my financial background is the 5 C's of credit and preparing to get access to capital. Because if you get access to contracts and you don't have funding, that's just not like having a contract. Because if you get awarded a contract and you can't perform it, guess what? You could lose that contract for cause. And the next time you go to bid for something, you won't get access to that contracting opportunity. And so we want to make sure that you're positioned, and working with our partners from a counseling perspective will help you do that. And we have them here in the state of Georgia. So we want to talk to you about how you get access to those partners, and they're here today. And so I do want to take a moment and pause and talk a little bit about our partners here again before I go to the changes. We have the SBDC over there, the Small Business Development Center. There, our University of Georgia, again, is the host for that. They're here in Savannah. They're also a lender. So they're a CDC. They're also a community advantage lender. So they offer a lot of things, not SBDC, I'm sorry. I went to SBAC. I started looking at SBAC. The SBDC will prepare you for SBAC. So the SBDC will help you start and grow your business. It's going to help you with every aspect of your business, and they're going to help you to work together. And then we have the export assistance to help you to get ready for the technical part and getting to the procurement. And then ACE, our Women's Business Center on the other side of the room, they're going to also help you with getting prepared from inception to succession of your business. And they also have a lending program through SBA, but also other lending programs to assist you through growing your business. And then we have the SCORE chapter that is co-housed with our SB. I think they're co-housed with you, SBAC. SBAC is our CDC, and they're also a micro lender and a community advantage lender. And so we have a lot of lending partners here. We have a lot of resource partners here to help you at every aspect of your business. Because when you go for the money, you got to be able to have everything right on paper. And then so we're going to also, the VBOC is not here, the Veterans Outreach Center. They're out of Warner Robins, but they cover the entire state of Georgia. I want to talk to you a minute about some of the changes. Hub Zone. Hub Zone is historically underutilized business zones, and the map is changing July 1st. So if there are any Hub Zone businesses in here, you've probably been notified already if you're not no longer going to be in a hub zone. And so there's been remapping. So there are a lot of new hub zones that has been listed. And this presentation will be available to you so you can revisit where a hub zone is. This gives you some opportunity to federal contracting opportunities, but also you have to qualify for the hub zone. And they're going to extend that map period as well. And so there's also the veteran certification, the VA. No longer holds that certification, so SBA houses that. So if you're a veteran-owned small business, they've extended the period for 3 years, but also their firm's eligibility, they've extended it so you don't have to do anything. And all of the VA staff has come over to SBA. That happened this year. And so we have information and fact sheets to help you through that process. And then another good thing is, under this current administration, they're looking to enhance our loan programs for ease to access to our loan programs. So some of the paperwork is gone for getting access to capital, but also some of the requirements have been lightened for some of our programs. We've increased our Community Advantage Loan Program to $350,000, and that program was a pilot and is now going to become permanent. And so we have a lot of other changes to reduce the gap in access to capital. And so they're still going to look at the 5 C's of credit. That's going to be critical. But the paperwork and the things that go around that, they're looking at making sure that everyone has equal access. And we have a program that was called Emerging Leaders. It's like an executive MBA to help existing businesses grow their business, and it is at no charge. It is now called Thrive. It is Reemerge Emerging Leaders. It's a session that's 6 months long, and it is, right now, this cohort will be in Atlanta in our district office. A portion of it will be virtual. It was mostly all virtual in the last couple of years. We had a couple of meetings last year, but we're gonna have about 3 meetings in person, and for 6 months, you'll go through this course, and it'll help you take your business to the next level. The application period has ended on April 30th, but they did extend it. So if you're interested in participating, please reach out to the SBA website at SBA Thrive, and you will get there. If you go to our website, it'll take you to all the links. I think we actually need to have a class on how to navigate our website, because you can get lost on our website. Okay, I want to give you a little bit of numbers as well, since I'm a number person. So this is just for Savannah and your counties around Savannah. And so wanted to give you of how many loans that have been done in your area. And 57 loans, I'm looking at fiscal year 2022. So that was last year. It ended September 30th. And looking at your top lenders, so you have $56.8 million in just SBA 7A lending done here in the area. And year-to-date, 43 loans have been done, totaling $22.9 million, and giving you some of your top lenders that are in this market. Wanted to make sure that you had access to those numbers, because a lot of times people say, there's no lending going on in our area. There is actually a lot of lending going on in your area, whether it's SBA or non-SBA, and getting to our partners can help you identify who's lending in your market and who's actually lending in your particular industry. Sometimes as small business owners, we are aligned with a bank, and sometimes that bank is not aligned with our business. So you have to make sure your bank is aligned with your business and all of your partners, whether it's your CPA. And I heard the mayor say that his CPA didn't get him any money. He must have made a lot of money last year. Look, I came back to Georgia because when I was in D.C., I paid a lot of money in taxes. Guess what? So that was another reason why I came back. I had to pay Maryland, D.C., and Georgia because I still owned a home here. So I do understand about paying extra, right? And so I appreciate that. So we continue to lend money, and we continue to expand our programs. One thing our partners do for you, our resource partners, is they help identify the right lending partner for you. They help identify what your actual need is, because sometimes we go and we ask for less than what we need. Sometimes we ask for more that we can actually pay back. So they help you to identify what you need, how you need to use, and they help you spend it. Because what we also found is that even during COVID, small businesses spent money, and then they realized that they didn't spend it in the way that it needed to be spent. And so when they went to go ask for more, they didn't qualify. And they had a challenge paying back what they already had. And so here's our 504 loan program. SBAC is also a CDC, and they are part of this number. In FY22, there were 19 loans done here in this area for $27.5 million. And year-to-date, there have been 9 loans totaling $16.8 million. And our fiscal year will close September 30th. So we hope to increase the lending activity here, as there are a lot of things going on here in Savannah. And so I've been talking about throughout this whole process our partners. So that's the key. SBA helps you to navigate, and I want to check my time. So could somebody help check my time here? I got 5 minutes left. Okay, great. And so SBA helps navigate you through the process and our programs. So In our district office, we have a team of 14 to cover the entire state, and a part of that is compliance. And so we're charged with making sure we connect you with the right partners, and we do that through our resource partners. And our resource partners are partially funded, and we talked a bit about all of our partners with the exception of our Community Navigator. That's the newest program, and it is a temporary program that's going to expire at the end of the year, but they will continue to be our partners. They won't necessarily get funded by SBA, but they're the grassroots. They are our chambers. They are our organizations that have received funding for SBA to connect you to all the partners. So if you don't feel comfortable or you're not familiar with our other partners, they work together. All of our partners actually work together. They do a lot of the same things, but they also jointly work together. They refer you back and forth, and they make sure that their resources are available to you. And what we found in the last couple of years is that there is a big need, and our partners have sometimes waiting lists. And so there's a part of being patient through the process. But when you get to our partners, being prepared to have that conversation. When you go to our partners, have something down in writing, making sure that you have your 3 things that you want to accomplish during that particular meeting, whether it's helping you with your financials, whether it's helping you to update your capability statement, whether it's helping you to get through the certification process. We are actually going to be working with our small business development centers to help you get ready for the certifications through the 8A program. So when you work with our partners and you go through that tedious application process through Certify and also for WOSB, a women-owned small business, to help you make sure the first time around you're in the program and you're properly leveraged to get to your first contract. Most time people will go through the certification process and they'll have several certifications, but they've never received a contract. Our goal is to help you to get to that first contract, because guess what? Someone's already doing the business, but how do you get access to that, whether you partner with them as a subcontractor or you're the prime on it? And so the key is for us to help educate you through the process so that when the opportunity comes, you're ready for that opportunity and you're poised to do that. And working with our partners will help you to do that, because you don't know what you don't know, right? And when you get to the opportunity and the opportunity passes you by because you were not ready. And so readiness is a key in how we help you to get access, and it's patience through the process. I used to be a small business owner myself for 10 years, and you get a big contract, and it seems like, I got this big contract, this is amazing. And then that big contract wears you out because it takes all of your financial resources. You don't have the human capacity to do it because you're a team of 1 or 2. You're trying to work in the business and on the business, right? And you can't do it all. And next thing you know, you can't get to your second contract because you're too busy working on the first contract. So when the first contract ends, your money stops, right? So it's a way to keep flowing, and our partners will help you and guide you through that process. So I can't express the importance of aligning yourself with one of our partners to help you. You might get a partner that they don't mesh well with you because it may be a personality conflict. They may speak a language. They may speak faster than you want to talk. Stay within the organization till you get to the right partner to help you. And guess how much the cost is? Anybody want to guess? It's free. Your tax dollars have already paid for it. So leverage that. I can't express that enough. Leverage those opportunities with our partners. Certifications. A lot of people look at certifications because of the set-aside. The federal government is the largest buyer of goods and services, and they set aside 23% of the $500 billion that we leverage in programs and services for purchasing. And many people say, it's hard to get a federal contract, but there are many ways to get through a federal contract. Even at our district office, I have a credit card. I can use a small business up to $2,500 for a service. In fact, I met a small business at an event similar to this, and I'm having her come in to train my team. And she maxed out the contract, $2,500 to do some training for my team. So that's one way to get federal contracting. You have to be registered in SAM. How many people is registered in SAM? How many people know what SAM is? I see a couple of hands. The system of awards management. If you want to do business with the federal government, you must be registered in SAM. That's a must. Before you go register in SAM, it's at sam.gov, S-A-M. Before you register in SAM, sit with one of our partners so that they can prepare you. Because once you get caught in the loop and you don't have the right information, you're going to be calling us saying, I can't get registered as SAM. I can't get my ID number. And you're going to get stuck. Dynamic small business search is where large businesses and other federal agencies are going to be looking for small businesses. Anybody here listed on Dynamic Small Business Search? If you're listed in SAM, you should be on Dynamic Small Business Search. Great. Those are key things that our partners will help you with, because you'll go to look at an RFP, a proposal, and you're not ready for the proposal. The proposal process is different for local government, which you're going to find out downstairs. The proposal process is different for state government. The proposal process is different for federal agencies. All federal agencies have different processes that they want. And again, unless it's something new, someone's already doing it. So you always want to go and find out who's doing it. How many people know about USA Spending? USA Spending is a place that you should spend a lot of your time. You know why? Everything the federal government does and spends is on USA Spending. You can find out how much, what that contract was, who was awarded, if it was a set-aside, when the contract ends, and when the contract started. So when you position yourself to go for a federal contract, you can actually see what it was, what it is, and what it may be in the future for you so you can prepare. June 30th is key to federal government. Most federal agencies start really spending in June. September, the money is gone. They start sweeping our accounts in August. So if you're preparing to do federal contracting, you really want to start now. You want to make sure that you're prepared. You want to see what's out there. And so it's really critical to prepare for these certifications. So you can see how it's been set aside for different socioeconomic programs, but the certification is just to help you leverage getting to the federal contract. It's not going to get you a federal contract. And so that's really a part that we tell people in our district office, don't chase the certification. Chase the opportunity and prepare for the opportunity. And so this is some numbers from fiscal year 2021 as far as in our Georgia district office, just to give you a little glimpse of a fiscal year, what it looks like. I was supposed to get some updated numbers, but one of my supervisors didn't get it for me. He got me some other numbers, but that's okay. You also can go on USA Spending and pull up information. And then FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. Does anybody know what that is? That's because this is a federal program. It's free information. It's information if you want to find out something about our loan programs, federal contracting, who's doing what. It's all public information, just like all the folks that receive PPP loans and COVID EIDL. It's all public information. And so you can actually access a lot of that through our website on SBA. And we do information to Congress. So we do reports to Congress on a monthly basis. So we have to share all of this with Congress. And so with that, I also don't want to leave here without mentioning the Office of Recovery and Resilience, also known as Office of Disaster Assistance. And they help you. This is the only program that we have at SBA that's direct. That's where we do direct lending. That's where COVID EIDL was done from. And so if there's a declared disaster in the area, we've had a lot of storms lately, you can possibly qualify. Typically, most folks want to qualify for FEMA because that's a grant. SBA loan programs is based on your ability to repay, but it's also not just for small businesses. It's for homes, it's for rental, and it also can help you with working capital purposes. And it go up to 30 years on fixed rate. It's 30-year loan, fixed rate. And so the resilience part of it comes is we're now in that division of disaster is helping you prepare for the next disaster, because most people aren't prepared for any type of natural disaster. The COVID EIDL was the first time in history we had a non-natural disaster where we provided loan funding. And so that part is over, and now we're going back to the natural disaster and declared disaster, so it covers you. And so if you, does anyone in here, have they ever had a disaster loan? Okay, great. And so 30 years, you could have a $1,000 loan and pay it back over 30 years. That's nothing. And so you can also get up to $200,000 in different areas based on your need. And so it's really important to also work with our partners. A lot of our partners, SBDC, SBAC, when there is a natural disaster and they put people on the ground, they're here to help you through the process. And again, everything is gone electronic. We have something called My SBA Portal. So if you've ever done any business with SBA, you need to sign up for My SBA Portal. It's new, but it's going to tell you everything that you've had with SBA. You can also pay through My SBA Portal. It's a new portal, and if you have a COVID EIDL loan, you have to have an account through My SBA Portal. It's new. It came about last year, so it's really important for you to identify what you have and when you have it, so you stay on top of what you owe, because what you don't want to do is default on federal debt, because you'll never be eligible for federal debt in the future unless you pay it off. And as I wrap up, again, I'm going to be here for questions. Our partners reaching out on our website. SBA has a number of classes that we partner with our partners and bringing in experts, subject matter experts. And so most of our webinars, all of our webinars that are hosted are free. Our partners may charge a nominal fee for the classes, whether it's in person or webinar, but it's a wealth of information, and we have an on-demand learning portal as well. And then our resource partners. You can actually identify your resource partner near you by just putting in your zip code. And then our lender match. It's a no-cost portal where we connect you with lenders, whether they're local in Savannah or outside of the Savannah that lend in this market. You will put in some information, and it'll go out to our lenders that participate in that, and they will reach out to you. Also, this link here for disaster assistance will tell you if there's a declaration in your area, if you would qualify to apply for a loan. So I left this up for questions, but we probably don't have time for questions. I've said a lot today, and hopefully it wasn't overwhelming. Most times it's information overload. What I will say to you is reach out to our office, sba.gov/GA for Georgia. You can also reach out to us by calling our office at 404-331-0100. We do in-person and virtual meetings with you to help connect you to our partners, and we'll be back here in Savannah as often as you'll have me here in Savannah. So I thank you for your time today. Did I stay on time? I'm on time. Okay. I like to be on time. Miranda told me she likes to be on time.
Okay. Are there any questions for Ms. Drake before we move to the next segment? Anything that she talked about that you need to know more information? I thought I saw a hand. Do you have a question before we move to the next segment? It's fine if you have one.
So the set-asides are that 23% in those different categories, and what that says is that when any one company bids on a contract, they have to include a portion of those in there, so they're making sure that those markets are covered. So the federal government says that you have to have a small business included in your bid. And so that's important. So as you're working with some of the primes, if you're not the prime, because you could be an underserved business and be a part of that number. So the critical thing is if you could be a part of that set aside, so every federal contract must have a small business included in it.
Thank you. Ms. Drake will be with us throughout the day, so if there is an opportunity that you can capture to dialogue with her, ask your question, make a contact, she is available throughout the rest of the day to engage with you. Now we are at a very special time in our agenda. There is a very special announcement that we are very excited about, and so I would like to bring our mayor to the stage, along with the executive director of Step Up Savannah, Ms. Alicia Johnson. And as soon as our city manager gets in the door, he too will be able to join in on this announcement. So without further ado, Mayor Johnson and Alicia Johnson.
So I've been looking around. So I have homework for you while we're waiting. I have a press conference I have to do that I do on Tuesday. So how many of you just learned something in this segment that you did not know before? All right. So at the end of this day, I want you to know 5 things that you did not know before, and I want you to write them down. There is value to writing things down. Not putting it on your phone. Write it down. There's value to that. 5 things that you did not know before. 5 people that you did not know before. And then 5 things that you're going to do as a result of the 5 things you didn't know before and the 5 people you just met. All right? Y'all got that homework? You got it? I saw my ex-massage therapist right there. I saw her, and I'm all stressed up at all my shoulders and stuff, and you can't get an appointment with her because she done blown up and stuff. And so again, you have to see yourself in the room you're in, right? Right? So my realtor's right over there, and my property manager, which is part of the reason why I'm mad at my CPA. Folks don't want to pay their rent on time, and then, anyway. So again, see yourself in the room, right? That's right. Right? Celia Russo over there, right? Turner, does all kinds of PR stuff, and she makes you look more fabulous than you are, and she's done that for me on a couple of times. So, all right, we're moving on. Or are we waiting? What's the deal?
Well, sir.
I mean, are we waiting or we're moving? All right, we're moving. All right. So, thank you. So, it's been very important to us to be able to move forward decisively and move forward as it relates to doing things that had never been done before for the greatest people in the greatest city on earth. And so I'm taking the opportunity to, again, Ms. Johnson is here from Step Up Savannah, which is our economic empowerment specialist, right? We don't do poverty reduction anymore, right? If you say you're poor, you are poor, right? So we're prosperous. But we're here today to announce that Step Up Savannah is partnering with the city of Savannah to launch what is a new co-op that is called Ignite Advantage. Everybody say Ignite Advantage. This is, It wasn't loud enough. I was trying. Say Ignite Advantage. Ignite Advantage. No, you need to use your outside voices. Say Ignite Advantage. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a one-of-a-kind national initiative. This is the first co-op of its type in the nation. Savannah, and the nation. And this is a cornerstone project that was pitched to the National League of Cities and the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta. We're so excited about this is because we've been talking about making sure that we do 2 things. Make sure that people that we need to get to the table, and then making sure that people that get to the table stay at the table. And so Ms. Johnson is one of the brainchilds along with Ms. Lotson, and I'll have her explain more.
Let's give it up for a mayor who supports economic inclusion, because that doesn't happen in every city, and we should be proud of our mayor. So I am extremely excited about this project. This project came out of much of the research that was done as a part of the Racial Equity and Leadership Task Force that launched way back in 2020 and produced a report for public consumption nationally in 2021. During that project, here's what we learned. Is this my clicker? Okay. Here's what we learned. we learned that we have to move away from this idea of poverty reduction, right? We don't want to reduce poverty, we want to eliminate poverty. No one in this room and no one in our community, no child growing up in our community has poverty on their vision board. And so what we have done is moved our agenda forward, not only at Step Up, but in partnerships nationally, to an economically inclusive agenda, which speaks to asset building and poverty interventions that move toward wealth building and financial security for our community. Here's what we learned. We learned that the asset poverty rate for Savannah is about 35.6%. And for the county, it is about 31.5%. And for households of color, it's at 44%. And when you get into opportunity zones around our community, where children are forecasted, growing up there, are forecasted to make less than $25,000 a year by the time they're 35, that asset poverty rate goes up to as high as 50 and 70% in some of those census tracts. Now, why is asset poverty important? Because it means that you have a net worth of zero. It's what the banks look at. It's what creditors look at. It means you own nothing that can be translated into cash, a home, a 401k, a savings account. So to have over a fourth of our community in asset poverty is a serious issue that we must address. We also learned that firms owned by African Americans are less likely to have served as a prime contractor with our own city. We learned that Savannah's population is about over 54% African American, but only 36% of the city's businesses were Black owned, and that white owned businesses in our community are worth nearly 16 times that of African American owned businesses. And so one of the things that we wanted to do was create an economic engine in our community to start addressing some of these issues. And so, as the mayor mentioned, we convened with a project with the National League of Cities that has been providing us technical assistance throughout this project. And we pulled together a strong cross-functional and cross-community steering committee that include the Small Business Assistance Corporation, the Greater Savannah Black Chamber of Commerce, the Georgia Cooperative Development Center, the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta, Carver State Bank, and Coastal Georgia Indicators Coalition. We made tremendous progress over the last 18 months. We've held multiple stakeholder forums and town halls and surveys. We reviewed national and international models, and we've begun the work to cross-pollinate this project with our county partners. I'd like to give recognition to those minority-owned business owners and additional partners who are here in the room with us. Would you please stand? Victoria Saxton from SBAC. I see Kiwan Drayton from the Black Chamber, Dr. Anissa Roller, Barry Crocker, Sheila Shepard, anyone here from the Chatham County MBA program, ACE Business Center, and we've had several funding partners asked to be a part of this, to include Bank of America, Truist, and Wells Fargo, along with some additional partners. I also like to make certain that all the folks in the city's economic development team also stand up so we could give them a shout out, because we've all been joined to the hip the last 18 months. So we've moved this project along. Here's what you need to know as a minority-owned business. It uses FUBU, for us, by us, right? It's a tiered membership with annual dues. You get to share in the profits. You own it. It's yours. It incubates startups and grows established businesses. By using this shared business service model, we know that Black-owned businesses and minority-owned businesses often lack access to capital. And one of the primary reasons for that is because you don't have the back office service model in place, that you lack administrative infrastructure, such as marketing, accounting. Does that make sense? A CPA, maybe a lawyer. So what this model does is ask all those folks to join in, and the co-op becomes its own entity, its own company. And now that company can have group health insurance. It can purchase promotional items from Diana Morrison over at Advertising Specialties at a cheaper rate because of the volume, right? You get to have accounting services and law services and all of those things that are needed to gain access to capital. And while you may not have an accountant or a lawyer or marketing, now as a part of the co-op, this company does, and it can apply for city contracts and larger contracts. Now, is that a great idea or what? You get to maximize collective bargaining and purchasing, leverage our existing resources in our community, and it opens access to capital in a way that it has not done, that we have not had in our community before. And so we are super excited about this opportunity, and we're finally able to unveil it to you. Can we have another round of applause? And can I have everyone in the room say, ignite? Advantage. Ignite. Advantage. Ignite. Advantage. Now, who wants to ignite their advantage with us? In your packet, you have a QR code that will take you to an interest form and an interest survey that allows you to give us your contact information. And our next steps will include some specific interest meetings that we will use to continue our incorporation process and our feasibility study. And I'm sure our city manager is already trying to find space. All right. So we get to have a building, an administrative assistant, some support, some accounting. We've already got an accountant on board. Amen? Amen? Amen. Sounds like a party. So here's what you want to do is scan that QR code, fill out that interest link, and we will be getting in touch with you for further information. Who's excited in the room?
Big news, right? Yes. And of course, Savannah would be the first in the nation to do this, right? The greatest city in the world, right? Yeah, so big part of this, Mr. City Manager Jay Melder is here, so we're gonna put him on the spot to say something, so sorry.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Alicia. We're really excited about this. I want to thank Manny and Miranda and the entire team at the Economic Development Office. I want to thank all of our partners, most importantly, Step Up, and most importantly, you, our business owners, and our business leaders, our small business leaders and our minority business leaders here in Savannah. We want to be able to do this to help you, but selfishly, when you do well, we do well. We need strong businesses to be able to perform the services that we need as a city. When you have other clients, when you're doing well, when you're making money, you're paying more taxes and you're contributing to our tax base, and we're able to provide more services. So as much as we can do to make sure that your business is successful, that's how we're investing in our success. Because you hire Savannians, you do business with Savannians, you have a business in Savannah. Whether it's a storefront, whether it's your home, your small business is making Savannah better. So the more that we can invest in your success, the more that we can see your success as the success of the city and really invest in that partnership, the stronger we're going to be. So that's why at the City of Savannah, we're very excited about Ignite Advantage. We've got some really, really big partners, the National League of Cities, who is going to be working with us to make this successful, and that's a tremendous resource. We get to be the proof of concept for other communities to be able to do this same type of co-op to help build and broaden minority-owned business base and minority-owned business success in their communities. So the City of Savannah, from the city manager's office on down and on up, Mayor, we're all in on Ignite Advantage, and I'm very, very proud that the city is a partner in this, and I'm so proud that we've got strong partners like you in the room, like Step Up Savannah, like the National League of Cities, who was just here last week. And I don't think it's a coincidence that they had their executive retreat here in Savannah and are investing in Ignite Advantage here in Savannah as well. So thank you all for your partnership, your participation. I look forward to your success because I look forward to our success as well. So thank you.
So if we sound excited, it's because we are excited. We're serious about this. For our community, and I've pledged this, that we were going to be grown up and we were going to talk about race and we were going to talk about poverty. And more importantly, we're going to do something about both. Now, when you invite people to the table, it doesn't mean that you diminish opportunities for those who are at the table. Actually, they get more opportunities because there are more people for them to be able to do that with. So if you have not seen our REAL report, if you go to savannahga.gov/REAL, R-E-A-L, we talk about race, and we talk about disparity, and we document all of that. And so there are some recommendations that this falls right in, a major way for us to be able to address it. We know, it's been said already, that if people are able to enter the space of entrepreneurship, if they're able to do better, I hate to say it, but how many of businesses are in the city of Savannah? In the city of Savannah. We like you a whole lot. Those of you who don't have businesses in the city of Savannah, raise your hand. All right. We like you, but not as much as we like the businesses in the city of Savannah. We're going to be intentional about businesses in the city of Savannah, which is why I initiated Savannah First. Doesn't mean Savannah only, but just Savannah first, because we recognize that businesses here pay taxes here, and so your second location can be in the city of Savannah, and we'll like you a whole lot, like we do the people that we like a lot. All right. So again, exciting news for us, and again, thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Economic Development Department. Thank you, Step Up Savannah. This is a game changer for our community, but more importantly, it is going to be a game changer around the nation because they are watching to see how Savannah makes this happen. And so we have proclaimed and we have declared that some folk are going to become free. Some businesses are going to do real well. Capacity is going to be expanded. Millions will be made because of our Ignite and because of the advantage that creates. Thank you all so much, and we appreciate you all for this great announcement.
We are now getting ready to enter into our third segment, which is the Business Owners Roundtable. This segment is designed for you to glean as much information from our experts in business that you can muster. You'll see on your tables that there are index cards there. Do you see your index cards? Okay. Do you have a pen? You have a pen? Okay. The idea is if we have 4 panelists and 1 facilitator that I'll be introducing in just a moment. If you have questions for these ladies who are in business and have been in business for years, Collectively, between them, I would almost venture to say we have over 100 years in business. Between them. So, if you have questions, you may write your question out, hold it up. We have two hosts that will come to you and collect your question and bring it to the facilitator. Got it? Got it? Oh, that's weak. Got it? All right. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you first our facilitator for our Business Owners Roundtable, a celebration of women in business. Originally from Claxton, Georgia, and a longtime resident of Savannah, Miss Diana Morrison has devoted over 3 decades, 30 years, of her professional life to helping businesses of all sizes, large and small, brand their business, brand their identity by expressing gratitude to her clients and employees no matter the occasion. With customized promotional products through her leading market firm, Advertising Specialty Services. If you ask her, how did she grow her business? She would tell you quite literally from the trunk of her car. Okay? How many of you know what that's like? Okay. She would tell you it takes lots of hard work, sleepless nights, and plenty of mistakes. She mentions that she has patient mentors that helped to guide her and her business. She has an awesome staff and an unquenchable personal desire to succeed. Diana received her education informally, but from the School of Hard Knocks. How many of you know about that? Okay. Industry resources and great mentors, as I just mentioned. She loves any opportunity she can get to teach, speak, motivate, and help others grow and learn and feel accomplished in what they do. She knows that the best way to be a better person is to help others achieve. I will introduce to you, celebrating 35 years in business this year, Miss Diana Morrison. Next, I would like to introduce to you our first panelist that will join us on the stage, Miss Ashley Davis Scott, who is the president of SDG Construction Services. She is originally a native of Richmond, Virginia, but now resides in our fair city. Under Ashley's leadership, SDG Construction Services has successfully completed projects throughout our region that includes working in general contracting, construction, project management, and project controls. Prior to starting SDG, Ashley spent over 20 years working in large construction as a general contractor, developing large multifamily commercial and healthcare projects. Over the years, her experience has lent her to successful management of projects in excess of $50 million. Ashley credits her passion for construction and accomplishments to her parents, Langston Davis and Beverly Davis, and her husband, Eric Scott Jr. Ashley is a part of NAWIC, which is the National Association of Women in Construction, GWC, the Greater Women's Council, and the National Association of Black Women in Construction. Ashley enjoys reading and spending quality time with her husband and 2 daughters, Hannah and Haley. Please welcome Ashley Davis Scott. Next, I would like to introduce our next panelist. Oh, it's right here. Our next panelist is Ms. Dawn Morgan, President and CEO of Collins Construction Services. She is born and raised in Savannah, Georgia. She is the president and CEO of Collins Construction Services, which specializes in commercial and industrial construction projects and holds a GC license and real estate licenses in Georgia and South Carolina. She holds a bachelor's degree in business management. She has built a myriad of projects throughout the city and county and Southeast to include the renovation of the Chatham County Courthouse, the Chatham County Detention Center, the Midtown Health Center, as well as the Savannah Fire Training Facility, and most recently, the TSA expansion at the Savannah Hilton Head Airport. Dawn serves as chair of the Development Renewal Authority for several years and has been one of the founding members of the local NAWIC chapter, as well as a graduate of Leadership Savannah and Leadership Southeast Georgia. Please join me in welcoming Dawn Morgan. Whew, this next young lady makes me tired. Introducing Miss Sabria Scott. Sabria Scott is the owner and broker of Scott Realty Professionals, T&J Properties of Savannah, and Scott Management and Consulting, LLC. Sabria is a native of Savannah and a licensed master barber stylist. She has a bachelor's degree in early childhood education and a master's degree in special education. She taught school in the Chatham County school system for 4 years and opened up her own real estate brokerage, Scott Realty Professionals, in 2013. She has been a licensed real estate agent since 2003. In 20 years of real estate, she has sold more than 3,000 properties. She is a constant presence in the Distinguished Sales Society of Savannah, formerly the $1 Million Club, since 2005. Scott Realty Professionals has ranked among the top 10 real estate companies for the past 8 years in transactions and the top 20 in volume for the Savannah Board of Realtors. I'm not done. Sabria has been named Entrepreneur of the Year by the Savannah chapter of Women's Council of Realtors. She has received the Philip M. Height Award, which was Broker of the Year by the Savannah Board of Realtors. She has received the Platinum Award from the Home Builders Association. She is a 19-year recipient of the DDS Award, formerly the $1 Million Club. And y'all, Sabria has sold more than $40 million in real estate last year. 40 million. Sabria was named one of the Real Estate Executive's 100 most influential real estate agents in Georgia and one of the best agents since 2014 by Real Trends. Please welcome the exhausted but never tired, Sabria Scott. All right. And last but absolutely not least is Miss Tanya Reed, who is the owner and CFO of Henry Plumbing, a Savannah-based plumbing company with more than 55 years of service and a fourth-generation business in this community. Tanya is the owner and CFO that she runs with the help of her husband, Todd, and her son, Tanner. Throughout her 27 years in business, she has worn many hats, as you know when you operate a business. She has run the administrative, the scheduling, the bidding for residential and new construction, the remodeling and repair work. Tanya has grown the service portion of her business to now be have multiple vans and able to cover a wider region in this community. Henry Plumbing has been recognized for their workforce development efforts, continuing education support for plumbers, and spotlighted in the National Plumbers magazine for their commitment to developing plumbing professionals throughout our region. Henry Plumbing is also known for its commitment to our fellow local residents, our businesses, as well as our charities, and has been recognized by multiple entities, as well as Savannah Magazine's Best of Home Best Plumbers, Georgia's Business Journal Best Plumbing Contractor in the state of Georgia, and the Savannah Morning News Best of the Best, Connect Savannah's connect Savannah's best among Savannah. Whew. Tanya is a firm believer in building relationships and service. Tanya has been involved in NAWIC, the National Association of Women in Construction. She is a past board member of Buy Local Savannah and a current member of BIN, Givers Gain, and WHIP, Women in Plumbing and Piping. Tanya most recently was awarded the NAWIC's Business of the Year Award for service and leadership in the construction industry within our community. She is a former Savannah Tech Star Award recipient. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to Ms. Tanya Reed. Now, with all that power, I'm going to hand over this facilitating this roundtable discussion to Ms. Diana Morrison. Remember, you have note cards on your table. If you have a question for any of these ladies, because we're going to talk about what they do and how they do it, please write down your question, hold it up, and we have hosts that will come and get your question and let the roundtable conversation begin. Diana? Yes, ma'am. You're in control.
All right. Sure I am. Let's see, can you hear me? Yes, yes, yay. Whew, that's a long one. I feel like it's trying to pick my nose for me. So, what a great day. It looks like y'all have had an amazing begin to this day. We have an amazing panel here. You know, in the information that went out to all of you that engaged you to decide to come here today, was discovering opportunities. And I think you need to think about that from your own perspective. Hi, I didn't see you. What opportunities have you discovered and grown from? Or what opportunities do you need to discover and grow from? These ladies definitely have amazing stories. I know most of them and most of their stories, but I don't know all of their stories. So I am hoping that you will be very, very curious and write down those questions, because if not, they get old, boring questions asked by me. So I am hoping that we are going to have great questions. So do I have my first one? And know that Miranda just said I'm in charge, so if y'all get long-winded, I'm going to cut you off. Y'all too. So do we have our first question? All right. Right there. Is it directed to any particular person? Open question. Thank you, my dear. This is a long one. I might need my glasses. Are we ready, ladies? My business is small, but I've learned of a niche that exists in my industry nationwide. I'm currently an LLC, and tell me if I'm not reading this right. I'm currently an LLC, but have this idea and would be industry changing. Is that what that said? I have this idea that would be industry changing. Should I remain a small LLC, or should I change the business name and incorporate differently, separately as a new business entity? SCORE,
No.
E Corp, future
S Corp, C
billionaire.
Corp, future
Oh,
billionaire.
S Corp, C Corp, future billionaire. I love the last one, future billionaire. Ladies, anybody want to take that one on?
I'll answer that. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, that doesn't sound
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Hello, hello.
So, my name's Sabria Scott, and I would tell you, you probably need to see the young lady in the back, Monisha. She is a CPA, and that person would best help you. When I got into business and I was initially a LLC, it was a CPA that got with me as well as an attorney that told me exactly how to structure my business, so you also don't have problems down the road with filing taxes, etc. So I would say that you definitely want to get with a CPA to assist you with that question. And I don't know if any of these ladies up here are CPAs, but yeah, CPA.
Yeah. I would agree with that. So may we ask you what your business is?
Right now it's design and alterations, but transitioning to teaching sewing seminars and allowing my business's reputation to broker out deals for seamstresses nationwide.
Very good. I agree with the ladies. You need to talk to your CPA and let your tax structure determine what you need to do next. Okay, thank you. So who's my second question? We had something from this side of the room. Do we have anything from this side of the room? Okay, Cynthia, we have a question from you. You can.
Okay.
She could just
I
ask it.
ask, how do you handle your work-life balance?
I can start off with that. So I have been in business with my husband for, let's see, 30 years of the 55 years. And we're also celebrating 35 years of marriage. So you definitely have to find something outside work. I mean, it can just engulf you. Recently, we went on a cruise, and on the way back, I said, we didn't talk about work the whole time. So that was amazing. But find something that's fun outside work, a way that you can give back to your community. We're involved in Savannah Parrot Head Club. The motto is Party with a Purpose. So we pick up trash on the side of Highway 80. We do volunteer work for anything involved with the coastal environment. So find something that's fun and that you can put your work hat to bed for a little bit, rediscover each other, and keep your work life after 5 o'clock if you can.
Anyone else want to answer that?
Yes, so my husband and I are also in business together. We own SDG Construction Services. So we have a clear understanding of what he will do for this project that we have coming up, we're currently working on, and what I am doing. So because of that, we are able to take time to spend with our 2 children. We have 2 little girls, 13 months and 3 years old. Can you imagine how tired I am? So work never stops. You have to form your own schedule, and you have to make sure that you guys are keeping each other first and keeping your family first. Okay, I was on a site at 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday, but I made sure to get home to tuck my little girls into bed. So you have to make your own path, make your own schedule, make your own way, and never lose yourself.
Amen, sister, and thank you for that. I would add one big word to that: boundaries.
Yes, absolutely.
Boundaries. You have to have boundaries. I'm going to give you an example, tip. I stop looking at email Monday through Friday, because that's when I am open, at 6:30. I don't look at it again. When I close it up on Friday afternoon, I don't look at it again until Monday. I have taken my email off my phone. And I'm going to tell you, that is like a godsend. Because, what can you do when you're trying to drive or eat or be in front of a customer or doing homework with the kids or baths or dinner with the husband? What can you do with that phone? What can you do with it? Zero. So why stress yourself with it? Boundaries. Sorry. I had to interject. Boundaries. An old woman's boundaries.
That's a wise woman. I like that. So, question for all of you, actually. Can you talk about the team that you have around you and the importance of your team and how it has impacted your business?
Ooh. I bet everybody has a different perspective, and I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, so I would say my team is very strong in their faith. My mother, my grandparents, my father, rest his soul, he passed away in July. They are my biggest supporters, my husband, and we pray before we bid on any projects, whether hard bid or negotiated work, and we lead by God's path, not by our own. Okay? So I would say we have a really great team. Even my daughter, when I get dressed up, she'll say, "Mommy, you look pretty." Even if I don't, she'll still say it. So everyone that I become in contact with is someone that God brought into my life, and I believe that. Everyone has contributed to our success, to my future. Even going to Georgia Tech, I had a great advisor, and I can only thank my support system and me having faith that I have got here today to where I am. Even at my age, I have to thank the man upstairs, okay? So that is my team. I love them to death, and yes. And hopefully, Ms. Drake, you become part of my team.
That's hard to follow. Along with that, is this working? Okay. Along with that, on the earthly plane here, surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. Use your resources, okay? So make sure, like they said, that you have a good CPA, a good attorney, those all cost money, so use your resources. I would not be sitting here today if it weren't for the ladies in this room, okay? Miranda, Kathy Porter were there for me from the very beginning. The SBA, SCORE, all of these people are willing to help you. This is the hostess city, right? These people everybody wants to see you, most part, wants to see you succeed. So surround yourself with your tribe of people that have your back.
Hello, so I just want to kind of echo off both of what these young ladies have just said. Well, before I do anything, I definitely speak to God. And I have friends that reach out to me all the time, and they all be like, "What should I do?" Or, "What should I do about this?" Or, "What's your thoughts on this?" And I always ask, have you asked God? Have you spoken to God about it? Because a lot of times we make decisions that we want to make, but not necessarily what God wants for us. So we have to understand that first. And that's the reason why sometimes we make these decisions and they really don't work out the way we wanted them to, because it wasn't supposed to, or that wasn't the path that he wanted for us. So I would say definitely pray about it before you make decisions. But my team has been amazing, not just my family and my friends, but also my agents. Who's over there. I got a couple of them in here. They always come out to support me. I always have something going on. But also my mom, she's like my hero, my shiro. She's the person that picks up my kids, drops them off. I guess I'm not to that point where I have created those boundaries yet. So I'm kind of all over the place. And the young lady over here asked a question and said, how do you balance? Well, I really haven't figured it out. I'm going to be honest. Everybody runs around like, I'm Superwoman and I got it all figured out. I don't. I take it one day at a time. So often my really good friend and agent in the back, Stephanie, she'll say, well, Sabria, we gotta figure out what's going to happen this weekend or next weekend. I say, I got to figure out today. So I'm getting through today. So just to be honest with you, I'm running around all the time, super busy. And if it wasn't for my mom, my team, my mate, and my family, I wouldn't be able to do it. So I would say, definitely surround yourself around people who want to see success, who can also experience your success. A lot of my agents and my family, I bring them into my success so they can be a part of it. So they won't feel a certain type of way or feel a little jealousy. I bring them into it. And anybody who knows me, even my new CPA in the back, if we're friends and we're around each other, we're going to make money together. So.
Excellent.
For us at Henry Plumbing, when we started out in 1968, it was my grandfather and family members. Through the years, there were other family members. Now, today, of course, I have family, my son and daughter-in-law, but we have generation of family, other families and their members. So we have uncles that work there and their nephews have come on board, or we have fathers and their sons, they've come on board. And we have a goal within our group to see our employees succeed. What is their goal? From buying their first car, we had a young man come up on his sister's pink bicycle, and now, you know, he's looking at buying his first house. So what's your goal? When you come to work for Henry Plumbing and you become part of the family, we're there to be proud of you. I want to know what your goals are and how we can help you achieve it. We have a weekly Friday morning meeting. So we talk about highs and lows of the business, but we also celebrate and mourn different things that happen within our work family. You know, we have events. This past weekend, we just had Family Fun Zone event at Pooler. So we brought all of anyone that would want to come and their families to get to know them. So being a family-owned business, not everybody's blood, but our employees are an extension of our family.
Excellent. Excellent answers. Excellent answers. And where is our next question? Whoop, Miranda.
So ladies, you all are in various areas of business. I would like you to share, why did you go into the business that you are in?
There you go. She asked my first question.
So my father is a third generational construction company. My great-great-grandfather opened up a company in 1908. We celebrated 100 years, well, actually over 100 years now, but we had a big celebration at the 100-year mark. So I've been in construction all my life. I mean, waking up Christmas morning, you know, I did have, you know, everything on the list, but I also had a pink dump truck and pink toolboxes, and I was like, what is going on, Dad? Like, what is, you know, me and my sister are like, what is all this pink dump stuff? So construction runs through my blood. You know, I started at Spelman College, and then I heard that Georgia Tech had opened this building construction program. I transferred the next semester I was out. And when I got to Georgia Tech, there were only 6 women in the program. So I have been showing myself as a female in this industry for a very long time. I've walked in rooms with nothing but all males, and I knew them drawings inside and out. I even knew the cliff notes, and the architect was like, that's in there? Yes, it's in there. I knew the spec book, I knew the schedule, I knew the budget, I knew the allowances, I knew everything. Because I wanted the men to leave that room and say, wow, did you guys hear Ashley? Her questions, her suggestions, they were awesome. And I always want to set a path for the young woman coming up in the construction industry behind me. I want these men to interview these women one day, look at these women one day and say, I want to work with her. And the only way that that is allowed to happen is if someone sets the stage and sets an example. And I wanted to be that example, and I still am that example. I mentor girls at Georgia Tech, Tuskegee, FAMU, and I love it. I give them confidence. I tell them to walk into a room, and I want you to know that you deserve a seat at that table. And don't walk away until you feel comfortable enough and confident enough to do so. So that's how I got into construction. My dad, like I said, has been in my blood. It will always be in my blood. I hope to bestow it in my little girl's blood, but I want them to do what they want to do, of course. But that's my story.
That's very, very nice. Very nice. Dawn?
Okay, mine is similar but different. Okay, so I am a business management major, so I knew I wanted to do something. I knew I wanted to work for myself. Okay, I knew I wanted to be my own boss, and I knew I wanted to make a difference. My father also owned a construction company, but I did not grow up in the construction industry. So I had actually left Savannah, was up in Atlanta, working in a manufacturing facility, and he made contact with me. And as he and I kind of worked on our relationship, and he said, I have this company, I have this business degree. He said, you come down here and fix my office, and I'll teach you how to estimate, how to project management. So it was not in my blood. But like I said, with that business degree, which I push to my son, I push to everybody I meet, you need that business. No matter what you're doing, no matter what you're selling, it's that business background that's gonna let you be successful. So again, had the opportunity to get into construction and then got excited about it. When you see that you're making a difference in the city you live in, that you're actually producing something, that's a pretty good feeling. When everybody's flying out of the airport and they look over and that's my project site, that's a pretty good feeling. So again, and Ashley and I've already talked about this, it's like women do so well in this field. We're organized, okay? We are multitaskers. We get things done. There needs to be more women in this field in tons of capacities. So that's my story.
Ooh, amen, girl.
Sometimes it takes a woman to do a man's job. Just saying.
Hello, I'm Sabria Scott. I'm owner-broker of Scott Realty Professionals, T&J Properties, and Scott Management and Consulting. I got into real estate not for any reason like these young ladies here. It was not in my blood. I couldn't see it, I couldn't feel it. I come from a community where we didn't have black real estate agents, and we didn't have many people that even went to college. So it's different for me. It was a struggle growing up, and I just kind of figured it out. But my aunt, who never had any intentions of buying a house, used to ride around with us in the car and call these agents. Yeah, you know, I want to see this house, I want to see this house. So we used to be window shopping, looking at houses. And I was like, oh, this is gorgeous, this is beautiful. And no, she had no intention. So like, when I look back at it, I'm like, that was terrible. Just wasting those agents' time or whatever. But anyway, once I graduated from with my undergraduate degree, and I went into my master's program, I became really interested in real estate. And when I realized, I'm like, I just got my undergrad degree. I'm about to graduate with my master's degree, and I'm a teacher, and I'll only be making like $200 more with $20,000 more of debt. And I'm like, and I can sell anything. Now, hustling comes, that's in my blood, you know. I come from a hustling family, right? So, you know, I was always, you know, in high school and middle school, I sold the most M&Ms. I sold the most bird cookies. I just sold the most everything. So I'm like, I absolutely can sell some houses. And when I realized there was no cap on your income, it just blew me away. So that's when I got into real estate school. It was a little difficult for me to leave teaching, so that's the reason why I did real estate, I did hair, and I taught all full time because I didn't want to leave my babies. That kind of comes natural. But what I realized is, because I didn't even choose to be a teacher, I only wanted to do hair. That was something that I wanted to do. I started teaching because I applied to all of these colleges when I was graduating from Savannah High School, and my grandmother, who I did everything for, said, no, you're not going off to school. So my heart was just absolutely broken. She was like, you're going right to Savannah State. And then I was like, and I was like, huh? So I was just crushed, and I didn't understand the path then. I didn't understand what God had for me then. And I realize now that it was all in the plan. So, you know, he wanted me, God wanted me, and know I needed to be a teacher to teach my 80+ agents, right? And to teach them not just how to be great agents, but also to teach classes. I've done investment classes, I've done broker's price opinion classes. So I realized that all of those things that I didn't ask to be was all in my plan for me to be set up for where I am now. So that's why often, and I just said earlier that, you know, sometimes we want to do what we want to do, but that's not really supposed to be in the plan. So that's how I got into real estate.
All right. So the question was, why did you get involved? And I'll share how I got involved. So I grew up in a plumbing truck. I was 6 years old when I learned how to drive a stick shift. And I rode in the front of a backhoe bucket thinking that every little girl had that toy at their disposal, but all my city friends, I found out, did not. And they loved to come to my house to ride in a backhoe. But as I got older, I thought, I don't want to get involved in the plumbing business. So I married an Army Ranger that was here at, in Savannah at Hunter. And we ran away for 5 years. And I got the call that my father had been diagnosed with terminal cancer. And all of a sudden, we had to face, you know, what was our future? And so we had originally planned to retire from the military, but that all got accelerated when we decided to get out and get involved in the business. And when I first got involved, you know, I just wore the smallest, shortest hat I could because I was really naive when it came to business and ownership. But as I progressed in the business, I got determined. And you know, our name was falling off of people's minds. We did not have a brand. So I became determined, especially during the economy crash, to get our name out. And with the help of Diana Morrison and Marjorie Young, those ladies were years ago mentors of mine. I got mad and I'm like, we are gonna do this. So why am I in business? And why did I get involved? To make sure that our name stood out in the community as a great company, as generational company, and to where we are today. So I just got determined and just wanted to make sure that our history continued in Savannah.
Wow, that's pretty powerful from all of you. Thank you very much. So we have a little less than 5 minutes left, and you know, we've talked about how you got in the business, what some of your challenges were. We talked about who's been influential to you in your life. We've talked about sacrifices, personal fulfillment, you know, how do you manage life-work balance. So I'm going to leave this one, and y'all can each answer it or not, but why do you get out of bed in the morning? Go, Tanya, you look like you got an answer.
Why do I get out of bed in the morning? I have 25 people on payroll that are looking to me every day. You know, am I going to get a paycheck at the end of the week? Yes, you are. You know, am I going to get 40 hours or more? Yes, you are. I'm determined every day to make sure that everyone that's part of our team and part of our family succeed. I find the biggest reward in seeing Pink Bicycle Guy to now, you know, have his car, buying a house.
That's awesome.
And I'm passionate about our customers. I talk to people that have really bad situations. They are looking at their first home ownership, and guess what? Already, you know, you have major plumbing problems. That's one of the biggest mechanical working systems in your home. So let me educate you on it might not be that bad, or it is that bad, but we'll work through it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for getting out of bed.
Yes.
Well, I get out of bed every morning because I know that it's a whole slew of people that life depends on mine. So that's what makes me get out of bed. It's just not just my family, it's my children, it's my agents, it's my contractors, it is my buyers, it's my sellers. So many people, lives depend on me getting out of bed. So even when those mornings when I don't want to get out of bed, or even those nights when I don't know if I want to go to sleep, because I'm not ready for the next day to get here, I realize that it's so many people, lives that I affect, and it's because God put me here to be a provider. So once you accept your role as a provider and you know what you are put here to do, then you know you gotta wake up.
Thank you. Dawn?
I have pretty much the same answer. It's the people are depending on me, people are depending on me for paychecks, people are depending on their livelihood, but also for my son. I want to show my son, do you know what I mean, the opportunities in front of him and what hard work looks like.
Amen, girl.
So I agree with everything that these ladies have said. When you love what you do, it's hard not to get out of bed, in the morning. I think about my projects, future projects coming up, even when I'm asleep. Sometimes good, sometimes like, whoa, wait, hold on. I'm very passionate about it. I have 2 girls, and I want to leave a legacy for them. I want to say that I actually stepped away from my father's company, and my husband and us opened up our own, and I did that because I wanted to leave something for my family. So I would just leave a little advice for everyone. If you open up a company or you have a company, anything that comes easy is not good. It's going to be hard. So I want you to stick it out, stick with it. There will be a light at the end of the tunnel. It is there, and I want you to keep going. My father always told me it's not going to be easy, but it will be worth it. So please remember that.
There you go. What I heard is they love what they do, they love people, they care about their staff, and they want to succeed every day. That's what I heard from that group. Let's give them a big round. So, we're coming to a close here. I'm getting the hook. Miranda has the hook. So I just want to say thank you to all of you for engaging with this group of women who really have done the due diligence for success. And it's there, and I'm going to say one thing before she gets the hook, is, Marjorie talked about leads groups. I want to talk about posses. Every woman needs a posse. If you are a business owner and you aren't really, really strong enough in finance, you need somebody in finance on your posse. If you aren't really good at marketing, you need somebody that's good at marketing on your posse. If you aren't good at HR, you need someone in HR on your posse. And you have something to offer, and they have something to offer you. And you can grow. I'm on rendition number 7 after 30 years of my posse. It's typically 6 people, business owners, but whatever you need, form your posse and use it. And that's a lot of what Step Up Savannah and our mayor announced today. There's going to be an awful lot of wonderfulness in that, and I can't wait to see it grow and all of you grow because of it. So thank you for hearing all of us today, and let's enjoy the rest of the conference. Uh-oh, the hook's coming.
You have one question. One final question.
One final question.
This question is specifically to Sabria. I think it's safe for me to say that 75% of business owners, there are 75% of business owners in here that's self-made. And for that, you said that did not receive a blueprint to their business. My question to you is, what advice, at least 3, would you give us as business owners who was not given this blueprint? What advice would you give us?
Well, unfortunately, I wasn't given the blueprint either, but what I will tell you is that you definitely need to get a mentor. I would say I really needed one, so I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning until I found a group of young men out of town that does the same thing that I do, but was exposed to a much larger market, and they took me in and started mentoring me. I'm now moving into government contracting, and I've been taken in, and I got a mentor now that's helping me push into that space. So I would definitely say, as Marjorie said, that you need the posse. Your posse, one of those people should be your mentor. So I strongly recommend that you get a mentor. And then in terms of posse, again, you definitely need to get with a CPA. someone that can help guide you. Because for a while, I had an LLC, but I wasn't as an S Corp, and I didn't know. You know, I just was told to go get an LLC. So you definitely want to speak to a tax person, and then also make an attorney your buddy. We do free things for each other, and the attorney has really helped me along the way with establishing my business, with putting myself in a better position. And then also one other thing is, work on your credit. Your credit takes you a long way. I mean, especially in business.
Amen.
You will be surprised on how bad credit rating can cause your business to really struggle. So those are my trinkets that I want to give you guys. Thank you, Zalonia.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, ladies.
Let's give them a round of applause. But between the four of these professional women, they have over 100 years of experience, and that is to be celebrated, particularly in these days and times. We're now going to share with you our Small Business Spotlight, which is a very short video of just two of our small businesses that are women-owned. So, Small Business Spotlight, take it away.
Well, I was introduced to the business because my dad has been doing the trucking business since the 80s. So I kind of grew up in it. I didn't come straight into it once I graduated from high school. I did go off to tech school where I took up medical assisting. I did that for a little while. I have two older sisters that have been here in the business with my dad. They started with my dad doing this business, and my dad was struggling a little in the business. He had a recession like in the 90s. Things started getting slow. So in the 2000s, I came in and helped my older sister out. She was here in the office, doing work in the office, like paperwork and stuff like that pertaining to the business.
Ellen and I formed Ethos in June of 2019. We are a historic preservation planning and consulting firm, and we do a real wide variety of projects, including assisting individual property owners, small-scale developers with historic tax incentives, whether that's applications within local historic districts or filing for historic tax credits, like the project that we are visiting right now, or such things as assisting municipalities and nonprofits with design guidelines, creating historic districts, building, visioning, grant research and writing, that sort of thing.
So I was the first one who took the initiative, and I went and got my CDL license. My two other sisters, they wasn't too interested in that, but eventually my oldest sister, her name is Sedatress, she came into the, she got on board with going to get her CDL license. So we both have our CDL license now. But when I initially said that I was going to get my CDL license, and I went to my dad, Mr. Dukes, and I was telling him that I was going to go get my CDL license, he was like, "You can't drive no truck." So I was like, well, I already talked to the school. I took the initiative to go talk to the school to find out what I needed to do and what kind of training I would get. And they informed me that the best people to train are the people that don't know. So I studied, I got my permit. Then I went and showed my dad, Mr. Dukes, my permit. He was like, "Oh my goodness, they done gave this girl a permit to drive trucks."
Growing up, I was just always encouraged to consider my surroundings. My father was an architect, and I think that really encouraged me to consider the built environment, and that certainly was a big driver as to why I chose historic preservation as a career. And so landing in Savannah was really a dream come true, because Savannah is the preservation mecca in many ways. So I feel really fortunate that we get to practice together and offer assistance and advise folks on their preservation decisions. in such a wonderful city.
I graduated from school in 2015, and I've been driving trucks ever since. I did the application to get certified with the city of Savannah for the women and minority business. Got that done. From there on, it's been steadily growing. It's been a growing business in the city of Savannah. The staff, everybody there, they've been very helpful.
The Economic Development Department team has been very accessible and easy to work with. They seem to be always available. They always answer their phones, ready to answer any questions. If they don't know the answers, they will find out and they get back to you. They take walk-ins for additional assistance. They are very receptive and knowledgeable, and we've enjoyed working with them. We have been able to take advantage of classes that the Economic Development Department has offered, which is, as new business owners, that's really been helpful. Also, in terms of just technical assistance, helping us get registered as a woman-owned small business has been extremely helpful. They have offered a variety of services that we've been able to take advantage of.
Some of the projects that we worked on, like the in-market arena, the Gwinnett Street widening, Broughton Street, the reconstruction of Broughton Street. I don't think if I was not a part of the program that I probably wouldn't have my business probably wouldn't have got nominated to work on some of the programs.
I would advise anyone interested in doing business with the city is definitely to take advantage of the programs that the Economic Development Department offers. There's lots of classes available, lots of resources, lots of information that they can provide, so I would highly recommend that.
And the staff there, they're really helpful, and they look out for you. They're always calling me, asking me how things are going. Is there anything that they can do? Are you having any issues? I've even had them where they actually come out to the projects.
We'd certainly recommend that any small business that qualifies gets certified as a minority or small business through the Economic Development Department. It makes projects that wouldn't otherwise be available to folks more available. There's also checks and balances to make sure that city projects have a certain percentage of small and minority-owned businesses, and that's been really helpful to us getting started.
It gets you out there, it gets your small business, if you're just starting, it gets you exposure to other contractors that might eventually, get you to have the opportunity to work on different projects.
Historic preservation in particular is a very green practice, and knowing that the city of Savannah has established some sustainability goals, it's always important to highlight the importance of reusing buildings in that equation, because 1/3 of the world's waste is in construction debris. So by reusing a building that has embodied energy, there is fewer materials going to the landfill, and that is a huge gain and something that we should take great pride in.
There's so many different opportunities out there for you, especially with the city of Savannah, because they expose you to so many different projects and different opportunities. It's been hard, but also it's been a great opportunity because you get to work for yourself and you kind of get to see different things from a different light, from just being somebody that just works. You get to meet many different people. Like I said, you get many different opportunities, and you get to make your own schedule somewhat.
My advice to anyone interested in starting their own business would be to follow your passion. If you're not passionate about it, it probably isn't going to work out, because it is a lot of work and a lot of effort. But if you follow your passion, you follow your dreams, you can get there.
I don't think that I saw ethos preservation. That would be Ellen Harris and Rebecca Fenwick, or representatives from ED Trucking. That would be Hello. Erica Dukes has joined us this morning. Let's give a round of applause. Stand up, Erica. I thought you might be on a truck somewhere. These two small business companies run by women are our 2023 Mayor Small Business Spotlights. Every year, we select 2 businesses that we observe are killing it. And so we saw Erica moving dirt all over that arena. And so we see what she is doing and we celebrate her accomplishments. We celebrate her go-get-itness. Is that a word? It is now. And we celebrate just the fact that she gets it. If she doesn't do it in her own best interest, nobody else is. And so the tenacity that these ladies show in guiding their business to the next echelon is something that should not go unrecognized. And so we're happy to recognize these 2 small businesses as the 2023 Mayor Small Business Spotlight. Stick with me, we are coming up to the close. But now, may I bring to you our keynote speaker for the morning, Miss Kathy Porter. Kathy is a nationally recognized small business strategist who is an award-winning subject matter expert and frequent keynote speaker, panelist, and workshop facilitator focusing on supplier diversity, economic inclusion, small business development, and entrepreneurship and women entrepreneurship. She is the founder of Porter Brown Associates, a certified minority, woman-owned, veteran-owned, DBE certified in 7 states, firm that provides a wide array of professional service solutions for governments, corporations, and small businesses alike. PBA has worked with Fortune 500 companies and agencies to include Amazon, Siemens, and the University of Montana, just to name a few. In 2020, PBA was recognized as the 2020 Small Business Subcontractor of the Year, and she is the founder of Business Fab Media and $5 Million Boss. Kathy is a serial entrepreneur. She is a seasoned executive coach and instructor for several National Business Accelerator programs to include the landmark Goldman Sachs 1 Million Black Women Program, the Inc. Magazine 5000, Small Business Administration Emerging Leaders Program, the National Minority Supply Diversity Council, and Babson College, as well as Essence Magazine. She is an author of 3 books on business and supplier diversity, to include the $50 Million Boss, which was nominated for an NAACP Image Award, Implementing Supplier Diversity, and Supplier Diversity for Dummies. Kathy proudly has served in the Georgia Army National Guard at Hunter Army Airfield, and she is a graduate of Savannah State University, where you can get anywhere from there, and she has. She has received her MBA from Georgia Southern University and a Master of Science in Entrepreneurship from the University of Florida. Many of you know her, so to those of you who do, I am happy to present and introduce to you all who don't know her, but I'm happy to call her friend. May I introduce Kathy K. Porter.
I want to say to Miranda, that's 50 billion with the B.
50 billion?
Yes, you said million.
Sorry.
50 billion. Okay, thank you. I'll keep this right. So first off, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. This is so exciting because I remember when I was a part of the team that planned this event, the first event, I think Mayor Johnson said 2008. So I was a part of the team. I used to work with Miranda, worked under Miranda. Miranda gave me my start in supplier diversity and kind of set the foundation for what I'm doing today. So I'm always indebted whenever she calls and she says, hey, can you come here and do this? Absolutely. I drop everything and make sure I can make my way here. Savannah, this is also especially special for me because Savannah is home. I haven't lived in Savannah for a number of years, but whenever people ask, where are you from? I always say Savannah, and they always say, I love Savannah. Savannah's amazing. Yes, it is. It's all of those things. But Savannah is special because it's a place that marks a lot of firsts for me, both personally and professionally. Personally, my kids were born here, and my daughter had a chance to come back. Where's my video? Oh, I have my clicker. Okay. And then professionally, I got a lot of my starts here. As Miranda mentioned, I'm a graduate of Savannah State. Go Tigers. I got my first job here with Carson Products Company before they were acquired, so yeah, many, many years ago. I served in the National Guard here, so I was stationed right there at Hunter Army Airfield, and before you start saying, thank you for your service, I was the worst soldier ever. So. I'm always embarrassed by that, but it's true. I was a terrible soldier, but nevertheless, I still got through it. And it's one of the reasons we are veteran-owned business today. I got the idea for my first book, $50 Billion Boss. And so the young lady that was asking about a blueprint, I was the same way many years ago, looking for a blueprint on how do I start a business? What could I do? Where can I get ideas? And I couldn't find anybody. I couldn't find the inspiration, so I wrote it. And so this is the book that was nominated for an Image Award and set the stage for other books. And so, well, okay, yep, you heard it. She said you just won one. And then, I worked for the city of Savannah, and this is where I got my start working in supplier diversity and working with inclusion and helping contractors win contract opportunities, which is the cornerstone of my business today. So now I work with a lot of Fortune 500 companies, agencies, helping them create programs, training programs to connect with small businesses. I work with national accelerators, namely the Goldman Sachs program, some other programs, where I work and coach businesses to help them develop an institutional acquisition strategy. That's a big fancy words for how to win contracts. So we do a lot of that. So I want to say, though, before I move on, the resources around the room, please take advantage of these. The SBA has been a tremendous resource for my business. So Ms. Rosemary, she mentioned earlier all the things that they do. The Thrive program, it was originally the Emerging Leaders program. I've been a facilitator in that program in Florida. The loans that the SBA offers, we got one of those EIDL loans, and it changed everything for our business during COVID. And then the veteran certification, we got certified as a veteran-owned business, and I'm going to tell you this story. This never happens. I have to preface it by saying this never happens or hardly ever happens. But I started my business in 2016. I was working at a job. No matter where I am, I always start a business. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I knew it was going to be in the contracting side, but hadn't narrowed it down. We got certified as a veteran-owned business. I had a business coach, and he said, hey, you might want to get certified as a veteran-owned business, because at the time, we had a different president in the White House, and he's like, they don't care about the other ones, they care about veteran. Okay, I'll get that. So I got certified as a veteran-owned business. 6 months later, I got a call that said, hey, we found you on the dynamic business search, and we're looking for a firm to come in and do some work for us. Do you think you want to come in and talk? Yeah, I'll come in. And so I go in, and it's this craziest company. It's back up in the woods, and it was weird. I'm like, where am I going? But they're pretty close to the house, so that was interesting. But I went there, and they say, hey, we have this contract with the EPA. We're doing this work, and we're looking for a subcontractor that can help us with a portion of the work. And they explained everything. Do you think you could do that? Yes, of course, yes, as you should as a contractor. When a prime asks you into the building can you do this work, you always say, yes, I can do it, and you figure it out later. So I said yes, and of course I went home. I think I had an idea of what they wanted to do, but I went home and I had no idea. So I was Googling Googling and calling around and everything. So they sent out the bid documents, and I responded, put in our information to the best of my ability, and lo and behold, 6 months later, we won. It was a contract that was $1 million. That was our first $1 million contract. And I couldn't believe it because that was my first time on the other side as a business owner submitting on a contract like that. And so, no, they don't give you $1 million right then. And so it was a 3-year contract. Apparently the other subcontractor didn't work out, and so they were looking to replace that sub. They brought us in, they told us what they wanted. I figured it out, we submitted, we won. And then when it came around to renew the contract and went out to bid again, they said, hey, we want you to be our partner. We don't want our teaming partner. We don't want you to go to anybody else. And you know what that means when they want you to be a partner? You know what that means? You can raise your price. So now I raised my price. That contract is now a $3 million contract, and we have it for 5 years. So we've been working on that, and they've been a tremendous partner. They've helped us in our growth, and so I can't say enough about the resources that the SBA offers. If I had not been in that search, in the database, they might not have found me, and we wouldn't have that contract today. And they're my BFFs. I love them. So when I was thinking about the theme of discovering opportunities, and along with this being the informal theme of celebrating women entrepreneurs, it got me thinking about why this is crucial for women entrepreneurs. And now, hopefully, just hearing everybody today, we can see why this is important, why gatherings like this are important, why talking about this is important, because as much as we're entrenched in it, as much as we think we know, or we think everybody knows this, not everybody knows this information. Not everybody has access to this information. And so this is important for women to embrace this, because I want you to think about this. As much as women are starting businesses and they're becoming more entrepreneurial, there's still some things that impede women's ability to scale their business. Women are, they're less likely to reach $1 million in revenue. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but most women entrepreneurs, they do not reach the $1 million mark. They're less likely to reach 5 years in business. They're less likely to have access to the necessary capital that they need for their business, not just grants, which are fine. Grants are great, and a lot of women-owned businesses rely on grants in order to fund and get the startup money that they need, or microloans, and it's great that those resources are there. But sometimes those resources are not enough to get the business off the ground and really scale the business and have the impact that you want. All of these are key indicators for long-term success. And so events like this are so crucial because it helps you build that network that we talked about earlier. It helps you find those other people. Your next opportunity could be right here in this room. And so we have to come together and be able to take advantage of this, learn where they are, not to just discover opportunities, but also to leverage opportunities. A part of my business is coaching entrepreneurs and helping them develop a strategy to grow and scale. So I work with a lot of women across the country. I meet women from all over, depending on who I'm working with. Sometimes they hate me in the beginning because I'm really tough and I ask hard questions, but by the end, when they say, oh, Miss Kathy, guess what? I want a contract, we become friends. And so that is my job and my goal as a business coach. And if you don't have one, you need one, just as much as you need your CPA, your accountant, your banker, your mentor, you need a business coach. A lot of entrepreneurs don't think that they do, but they do. And so we help you to develop a strategy to help you grow and scale your business. But I found that there are a lot of things that women entrepreneurs can focus on. These are things that I had to learn in my own business to help me scale and grow. And so that makes a difference between starting a business and doing some small things to really scaling a business and the business being able to do the things that you wanted it to do. So when you think about why you start a business, why did you start your business? I think we asked that question earlier, but I want to hear from the group. Why did you become an entrepreneur? Why did you decide, I want to become an entrepreneur? Anybody? You don't want to work for anybody anymore. That's a good one. I'm sorry. Oh, that's always a good one. We need some money. What else? More time with your kids, more time with your family, independence, being able to do your own thing, call your own shots, not having a cap on your money. What else? Anything else? Income bracket. We want to make some money. And that's I'm sorry? You want to have your own job, have your own freedom and flexibility to do things on your own terms when you want to. A lot of times we're afraid to voice those, especially the part about money. We're afraid to talk about, I want to make some money. I want to make some real money. I don't want to have to struggle all the time. I've done that. I want to do something else. I want to try something else. And I want my kids to have an opportunity to live a life too. And so I'm all for that. That is probably what leads me in my coaching. And so those things are so important to help us leverage opportunities and be able to take advantage of things when they come along. So, all right, here we go. Discovering the opportunities. First thing that we have to, is this on? Okay. Oh, I want to go. So one of the first things that I really had to think about was know your why. Know why you're doing stuff. Know why you're getting up in the morning. Know why you're starting your business. Know what it is you want to accomplish. That's my why. That's my son Mason. My son, he's 17, and he after this was last year when he was a junior. This dunk, they posted it up, it went viral, as the kids say, and he got calls all over the country. Schools were calling, hey, how can we get him here, how can we get him here? We ended up going to a school in South Florida. So he moved. I thought I would never be one of those moms, but I let him move to a school in South Florida, live with a coach, and so now I'm part-time between North Florida and South Florida, where he is, and because I go to every game. I'm with every coach, I go to every game, I'm a part of every conversation. But because of that, being able to give him the opportunity where he can go off and play at a school and take advantage of those opportunities, that's my job, that's my why, to be able to let him do that. So as a result, and I gotta throw this in there because I love talking about my boy, but he led the team in scoring. He got Player of the Year. He got a bunch of other things, first team, all of those things that you get with basketball. And now we have coaches saying my favorite words. Full scholarship. Exactly. So we were on a call last night at 10 o'clock talking to a coach. And so we wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't have my business didn't allow me to work anywhere I need to work. I can work anywhere, any day, anytime. I knew Zoom before the pandemic, so I didn't have those issues trying to learn Zoom, which was a good thing. This is my daughter Hollis. She's a graduate of Savannah Arts Academy. She's from here, born and raised, middle school, high school. This was last year when she was crowned Miss Wisconsin. And this weekend, after I leave here, I go down to South Florida for an event for my son, then I fly to Milwaukee to see her because she gives up her crown. And I didn't know, we weren't really a pageant family, but this is expensive. And which is another reason why I gotta make money, because I gotta be able to take advantage, let her take advantage of these things. She did Miss USA in Lake Tahoe, and we talking to the team, okay, this is what we need. We gotta have costumes and this and that. We can't go to Party City and get a costume. We have to get designers and dresses and this and that. And I know my role is the money. So I know I'm on the call because all of these things, well, who's paying for it? I got it, it's no problem. I love being able to say, I got it. I don't want to tell her, we can't do that. You're gonna go on national TV and you have to do your best. That's not my job as a parent, as a mom. And so I'm very clear about why I'm in business. It's because of them. Know your value. Know the value that you bring to any situation, any partnership, any organization. I think somebody mentioned earlier when you're talking to businesses, you ask, well, what do you do? You ask a basic question, what do you do? And they say, oh, well, we do a lot of things. That is not what a potential partner wants to hear. They're coming to you for your expertise. So anybody in here, when you're thinking about, well, what does my business do? And that's the first question that I ask every coaching client. What does your business do? How does your business make money? When I see a pause, that gives me pause. But when I hear a stutter and I hear that says that you're not really clear about what you do and what you deliver and the value that you bring to a partnership. If you're thinking about you're looking to grow your business and scale your business, you got to know the value that you bring to your organization, the people that you're talking to. Focus on the value that you're delivering. Your service delivery is great, but you also want to focus on the value. Knowing what you do, what you bring to the table. And then when you become strategic, you know what that table needs already, and you bring that to the table. So sometimes we have to switch it up. We talk a lot, and I know you all are on social media. We want to sit at the table. We want to come to the table. What you going to do when you get to the table? Know what you bring to the table. Know what that table needs and try to fulfill that need. We talked about the book. I didn't know anything about writing a book. I had never written a book before in my life. But I'm one of those crazy entrepreneurs. Oh, there could be an opportunity. Let's figure it out. And so that's what I did. They said, oh, you write a book. You need a book plan. I wrote a book plan. Well, how do you get a book deal? You have to get a literary agent. How do you get a literary agent? I researched all of that. And so I found all of those things, and now I have my third book with a national publisher, a global publisher, and I did all of that without a literary agent. Stop giving your time and energy and life to something that does not deserve it. We spend a lot of time and not focusing on our business and pushing our businesses forward. I talk to a lot of women and, well, what do you do during the day? How do you spend your day? How much time do you spend on your business? Well, I'm doing this, or this one is my favorite. I'm so busy. What are you doing? I don't understand. Unless you're the president is busy. We're not that busy. A lot of people ask, well, how do you have time to do all of this? You have your kids and your momager and all of this stuff. Because I know how to say no. There are some things that's not important for me to be a part of. It's not important for me to do. I had a young lady, she said, I'm on this board, and I don't even want to go, but I'm a part of it. Well, why? Why are you doing it? Well, it's a friend, and they need me. Are you getting paid for that? And I said, no, you need to quit that immediately. Before the end of the day, you need to quit that. Well, what about, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. It will continue. You're not that vital to what they're doing. They will be fine. But you think about how much time we spend during the day helping other people, and that's what we do. We're women, we're great, we're awesome, we're superwomen, we're all of those things. That's exhausting. And you don't always get paid for that. And so we're trying to grow a business. Again, we know our why. I have to focus on the things that are going to help me get to building a successful business, building a profitable business, because you really don't help anybody when you don't build a profitable business. You can't have the impact that you want if your business is not making the money that it wants. So your business needs you and your full attention, your focus on that business. Stop giving time and energy to stuff. We can't focus and solve everything. Focus on the business. Be relentlessly selfish in pursuing success for your business. Now, I know there are some words here that might be triggering, that might have a certain connotation. When you hear selfish, you think you're focusing only on you. When you hear relentless, that might feel like you're being annoying. But I tell everybody, entrepreneurs, men, women alike, give your business a fighting chance to be successful. We start a business, then we forget why we started it.
And then we're caught up in doing so many other things. I want to do a podcast. I want to do this. Do you make money with that? No. The amount of time it takes to build a podcast, you could be pouring into your business. Give your business a fighting chance. Be selfish about it. If you have time and somebody asks you to do something, I can't do that. I got to focus on my business. I have to focus on my business. This has to be a success. Diana said when she got divorced, we got to make some money. That means I can't do a lot of the things that I might want to do because I need this business to be successful. I have a child to feed. I have a family to raise. They depend on that. They depend on me. The women that were on the panel, they say, I get up in the morning because I have people that depend on me. And so they have to be judicious with their time. I can't focus on other things if it's going to take away from my business and the success of my business because I have other people depending on me. Know yourself. Know your strengths. Know your weaknesses. It sounds simple. How many of you really know who you are as an entrepreneur? I didn't see any hands raised. Oh, I see a few. Okay. I'm not going to put you on the spot. Huh? Miranda said maybe you didn't hear me. I will say that I'm not surprised by that because we don't have people asking us who we are all the time. And so when you don't have people asking you who you are and what you think, you don't think about it. And so when I was writing this book, this was really one of the first times that I thought about this. I was asking questions and why did you do this? How did you get into it? I just did it. How did you overcome that? I just did it. I just did. And when you think about women and how we function, we just do stuff. We don't ask how, why, what. It needs to be done. Okay, I'll get it done. And so when we just working and trying to get stuff done, you don't always know who you are. We're always living for somebody else. We're living for a partner. We're living for the kids. We're living for the church. We're living for the sorority. We're living for everybody else. We don't always know who we are and what we don't like because that's just what we do. That's what makes us brilliant. But it's exhausting. And then when you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't always make you money. So we don't always have the luxury of just focusing on the business and making money. And so we have to, all of the other things I said, be relentlessly selfish about pursuing things and making money, making our businesses make money so that we can do the things that we want to do, the reasons why we started these businesses. Know who you are. Know your strengths. How many of you know your strengths? That you didn't take the, the Myers-Briggs. All of you raising your hands, you took that Myers-Briggs stuff. I'm an ENTJ. Yeah, those are good, those are good. But how many, so who wants to give us their strengths as an entrepreneur? Okay, anybody, you can get up. Who, either one. Okay.
Demonstrating accountability. What does that mean? It means being honest when I make a mistake and holding others accountable when they make them as well.
Okay, I'll take that. When I make a mistake, I'll tell my client, hey, I messed up, but I'm gonna fix it. Okay. Yeah. Own it. Yeah.
So as an entrepreneur, I'll take the initiative. I'll go out and learn what I need to learn or network with who I need to network with so I can be more experienced and know what I'm doing. And also, admit when I don't know and I have to reach out to someone else and let them know.
Take the initiative. She said take the initiative. Admit when she doesn't know. But I was shaking my head, no, don't do that. You tell your client, yes, I do know. And then when you go, you leave, you go figure it out. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. Thank you for clarifying that. So we're talking strictly as an entrepreneur. Thank you for clarifying that. Yes, we can service our clients. And if we cannot, we go get partners. When somebody said, get somebody smarter than you, you get a partner to help you with that. So we have to reframe our thinking as entrepreneurs. We're not individuals. I'm a business owner. I'm here to help you make money. I'm here to help you increase your efficiency in your operations. I'm here to make your life easier. So we do everything we can do in order to help our client do that. So that's our response, always. That's our strengths. That's what we deliver
I make your life easier. How many of you have seen that commercial, TurboTax? And it's the guy, he's sleeping with the baby. Yes, I love that commercial. I love that commercial. This is a tax commercial, and you have a guy sleeping with the baby. Or I think one of the guys is climbing a mountain. Because what's the takeaway from that? TurboTax makes your life easier. You can do the things that you want to do by using TurboTax. That's how we have to think about our service delivery to our clients. You can do the things that you want to do, what that you need to do. I help you do that. So that's our strength. That's always our strength. Anybody else? So we've established that this side kills it. Anybody else over here? What is your strength? Yes.
I'm a natural speaker and I'm a natural networker, and I'm very intentional on what I do with my energy. That's my purpose. That's the biggest strength that I have.
You're intentional, purposeful, natural networker. Okay, I'll accept that because we don't often see intentionality in things that we do. Hey, we have some hands over here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just teasing, and I'm a Savannah State graduate also. And I'm Doris Liggins, and I'm a born entrepreneur, grew up in a household with that. My take on is know who you're dealing with. Everyone can't be a partner. I've experienced it, ended up being the thief in the partnership.
You got to know, so and a part of a strength is know what personality you work well with. Some people, we're not going to go do well. And we have to let that go, absolutely. But you can't make that decision if you don't know who you are and you don't know your strengths. Yes, I got some more hands over here.
Find the backstory, do your research.
That's your strength, is researching the backstory? Okay, learning who you're dealing with, who you're working with. Knowledge is power, absolutely.
I'm an advocate and a helper. That's my strength.
Advocate and helper. I want you to elaborate on that.
Well, my business is counseling, and so I help people, with their struggles. Whatever that struggle is, my business is primarily working with adolescents and teens, and so helping them with their coping strategies for whatever they come with. So when she was talking about my tagline, it's helping you find your way.
So you're a problem solver and a leader. Oh, we got a young entrepreneur here. Yes, sir. What is your strength?
So my strength is to be honest to people and make sure that I give the right amount of money to other people so I don't get hustled myself.
He's already got that mentality. He said he's honest. He's up front.
I help people liberate the way in which they think about themselves. They have mindset blocks that keep them from seeing their strengths. My job is to purge that and to help them leverage their strengths and connect better together.
Problem solver. Anybody that can help people work through problems. Okay, now this side wants to be chatty. Y'all know it's right before lunch.
I'm great at strategic planning.
Planners are great. We love planners, and I love strategy, so I love that. So we have two more, and then we're going to go back.
I'm a good multitasker. I can juggle a lot of things at one time.
So I saw you hauling that dirt up there. I got that. And taking the initiative. You say you went ahead and got your license, and you surprised your daddy. I love that. Okay, last one.
I have a lot of passion for what I do.
Passion is always good. My brand of coaching, I'm not big on passion because passion can make you make a lot of mistakes. But passion is good. You got to be passionate. You got to want to get up in the morning and do stuff. So it's how you harness that passion. So that's a good thing. What about weaknesses? Are we? You about the Academy Awards me? Weaknesses. Knowing your weaknesses. This is one area where it's not always easy to say, I'm not as strong in that as I should be, as I could be. And so you want to understand what your weaknesses are, what your shortcomings are, so that you can get the support that you need and show up whole for your clients.
Lastly, you want to know your ask. What do I want people to do? We get to the table, we get in the room, we don't even know what we want. So we have to be very clear about what we want, what we're looking for. How can this help my business? How can you help someone else? Be clear about your ask. Okay, she's being gracious. Be careful what you wish for and be ready for it. That's what this conference is designed to do today, to help you to get ready, to not only discover opportunities, but to also help you leverage those opportunities to get your business where you want it to go. Answering these questions, putting in the work to really understand who you are, what you deliver, so that you can be of value to potential customers and clients. If you don't have institutional customers, you need to get institutional customers, because that's how you scale your business. The resources here can help you get those larger scale customers to help you grow and scale. I heard a lot of the ladies talk about doing government contracting and getting into those things and diversifying your portfolio. You want to take advantage of the resources here to help you do that with your business. Thank you for having me. And I want to say, lastly, my ask, I'll see you all next time at the real women's conference, at the actual women's conference. So I always put my ask out there. I'm very clear on what I'm looking for, what I want my next step to be. So we have the next women's conference. I hope I get an invitation back.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you all so much.
So Kathy has asked that we partner and bring a concentrated women's conference to the community. So that we will plan. Right, Manny? You heard it here. First. Thank you, Kathy. Let's all give Kathy Porter a round of applause. It's always a pleasure to have you back. I would like to ask Mayor Johnson to join me on the podium as we recognize and thank our panelists who have made today such a substantive day. We would be failures in our attempt if we did not know that we gave you something that you can take back and use in your business. So would you say that we're successful in that? Yes. So I'm going to ask, before I let Mayor Johnson have the podium, I want to do two things of privilege. In your folders, you have a conference survey, which is a huge QR code that is also going to be put on the screen really quickly, so that you may give us some feedback as to how, if we were successful today in our goals, as well as letting us know what we can do better in the future. So if you'll take a moment to do that. Also, before I give the microphone to the mayor, maybe not. I'll let him do it. Get ready for your awards. Okay.
All right, so we're winding down, and we will be quick. We know, again, your most valuable resource is time. Did you learn something today? Yes. Did you learn at least 5 things today? Yes. Did you meet at least 5 people you did not know? Yes. And do you have 5 items in which to follow up from today? All right, then I think we were successful. So please take the QR code. Cecilia, come up. Take the QR code very seriously, because we take that feedback. This is what we do to make it for next year. So please don't just say, oh, well, we throw that in the trash. I want to introduce District 3 Alderwoman. I don't know if she's been introduced before, but Linda Wilder-Bryan from our City Council. And thank her for always supporting us in the work that we do. Just so that you know, I did proclaim last week, or this week, April 30th to May 6th, it's National Small Business Week in Savannah. Big round of applause for that. I'm not reading it. Oh, where is she? Ms. Drake is right here. Oh, Ms. Drake. Oh, okay. Well, look, these people are ready to go. Come on up. So we We're serious and intentional about our relationship. We thank you so much for being here with us. So I wanted to present that to you, and then to you, and thank you so much. We appreciate that, and we hope to have you back.
Yes, and you also have a winner here, a Georgia winner for family-owned small business.
We have a Georgia winner.
Yes.
Who, me?
Henry Plumbing.
Oh, Henry Plumbing. All right.
They'll be honored next week. This week
All
on
right.
Thursday in Atlanta.
Thursday in Atlanta. Why Atlanta? Why can't you be honored here?
Well, we can do another one here.
Okay,
All the winners,
all right.
The national winners are going to D.C.
National ones go
and the
D.C.
Georgia
ones go to Atlanta. Well, next time we want the Georgia one in Savannah. All right. Okay, yes. So big round of applause, right? Come. So before we get into these next announcements, we recognize Kara's trade. We recognize Diana for her 35 years, right? 35 years. Again, you know, we celebrate, right? Because one day we'll be 35, we'll be 40 years, and we have another quick announcement, and then we'll get into the awards.
Hi there. This year, as Cecilia Russo Marketing celebrates its 15th year in business, we are paying it forward. 15 years ago, the first client who paid me, I went off on a limb, on a wing and a prayer, and I got a $5,000 check and worked and worked and worked for months until we grew the business, and we are a successful business today here in Savannah, doing public relations and marketing and consulting and surveying certain with CEOs and all. Because of that, I wanted to pay it forward, and we are offering entrepreneurial grants. I know a lot has been discussed about grants this morning and all afternoon. So we're offering 3 entrepreneurial grants for that $5,000 to equal $15,000. So there's an application process. It's open until November. We're going to give the award out in November, and there are going to be 3 of those. So if you go to CeciliaRussoMarketing.com, you'll see an application. If you're a new business, an upcoming business, an entrepreneur that wants to receive this, it really will help start your business, and it's going to help you be successful as well. So I encourage you to do that, to look at that application. I said it's throughout the state of Georgia. And the mayor told me at lunchtime he wants all 3 of them to be from Savannah. So anyway, we'll be giving out 3 $5,000 entrepreneur grants to deserving entrepreneurs. So best of luck to you all, and thank you very much, and thank you for this conference. It was wonderful and very successful. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Now, I was serious. I want all 3 to be from Savannah. All 3. So y'all got the heads up before anybody else. Let's get that done. Want to thank Marjorie Young. Marjorie's gone already, right? All right, give her a clap. Diana Morrison. Come on up, Diana. Well, I mean, I thought it was kind of messed up for you to make your own award, so thank you so much. Thank you. TheSabriaScott.com and Tanya Reed. Ashley Scott and Dawn Morgan. Okay. Erica Dukes. For outstanding contribution. Come on, strut on up here. Come on.
I don't want nobody to get a picture of me on the floor.
We'll sell it.
Thank you.
And to our keynote, it's good when you can raise folk they can go off and bless other folk, and then they be able to come home. And so we're glad to have Kathy K. Porter back in Savannah. And thank you so much. Glad to have you back, and we appreciate you. And so this is to remind you of the reasons why you shouldn't have left.
I see this every time
Yes.
at the airport.
And thank you so much. Thank you. To our sponsors, WorkSource Coastal, Georgia Power. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Georgia Power, because my power was out on Saturday, so. Till 8:30 in the morning. I ain't complaining, but the dark wasn't funny. Savannah Economic Development Authority and the Savannah Area Chamber of Commerce. They dipped, just gone. All right. Georgia MBDA Business Center. Right here at Georgia Tech, and thank you so much for your sponsorship. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give another round of applause to our economic development team. I will tell you that I know I stressed them out, and I thank you all. We wanted it to be right. We wanted it to be right for you. We did not want to waste your time. And so I tell you, as we all share this moment together, and as we depart from this moment together, and go back to where our life really is, it means nothing if we don't make nothing of what we've learned today or who we connected with today. I'm hoping that the genesis of something new, something different, a new relationship occurred because of today. So we definitely want to thank the Southern Palette. Yeah. Shannon still back there? Come on, step out, Shannon. Now, Shannon's a local business, and Shannon cooks for fun. I gained 15 pounds fooling around with Shannon, but as you can tell, her food is good. So if you ever have a needed opportunity, Shannon is a very good resource. So thank you, Shannon. Thank you to your team for always being so awesome. And we got something with y'all tonight too, so I guess I'll be eating dinner with y'all tonight. So, anything else? All right, so 364 days, we'll be back together again. Be blessed in your travels. Again, thank you so much. Thank you, Stage Front, for all your work. Oh, and the reverse trade show is going on the second floor, right? Now, this is really important because this is FaceTime, and FaceTime is important time. So if you want to do work with the city of Savannah, this is an opportunity for you to have that FaceTime. And so we insisted on that because sometimes when you call folks cold, they don't return your phone calls, they don't answer. Well, they're here for the purpose of seeing you. Make your best pitch. Go strong or go home. All right? All right? And then Savannah first. For those of you that are moving to Savannah, by next year you'll be in Savannah, right? All right. God bless. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Ken Slats, Public Communications. Y'all have a great day.